Islander Hockey is brought to you by Michelob Light for the winners, by Chevrolet, who invites you to see today's Chevy, drive today's Chevy, and live today's Chevy. By Manufacturers Hanover, we realize your potential. By the people of Eastern Airlines, they earn their wings every day. By Mobil One Synthetic Motor Oil, you can't buy better engine protection. And by Men's World, where they won't let you buy it unless it fits.
Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. Sports Channel presents New York Islanders hockey. Tonight, the New York Islanders play host to the Minnesota North Stars. Hi again, everyone. I'm Jakes McDonald with Ed Westfall. Stan Fischler will be in our studio as these two teams complete the season series against one another. And the interesting factor here tonight is that a former Islander, goaltender Roland Melanson, will face his old team as they get together here at the Coliseum.
Roland Melanson, Jakes, of course, got off to a shaky start as a Minnesota North Star, but he's been playing much better, I understand, ever since. It'll be interesting to see. He's got to be nervous coming into this home rink of his, at one time his home rink, playing against his former teammates.
Well, it was sort of a mixed reaction from the crowd when he came out on the ice, but he'll be making his fourth straight start. As Eddie said, got off to a slow start. Here's what these two teams have done lifetime against one another. The Islanders with a record of 29 wins, 14 losses, and 10 ties. In their last 10 games here, however, here at the Coliseum, the Islanders have won only twice against the Minnesota North Stars, and there's been an awful lot of tie games. Two teams getting ready for the opening face-off. We'll return to the Nassau Coliseum right after these messages.
Stan Fischler here at Nassau Coliseum. The Minnesota North Stars against the New York Islanders. A number of scratches on both teams. Brian Bellows, Paul Holmgren, Gilles Meloche, and Craig Hartsburg. A lot of beef in there. The Islanders a ton. Kenny Morrow, Stefan Pearson, Pat LaFontaine, Thomas Janssen, Roger Kortko, Bob Bourne, Gord Lane, Bob Nystrom, and of course Billy Smith, who is under a 6-game suspension starting tonight. Take it away, Jiggs and Eddie.
Thank you, Stan. There are the officials for tonight's game. It'll be refereed by Dave Newell. Kevin Collins and Dan McCourt will work the lines. As you know, Roland Melanson is in goal for the Minnesota North Stars, making his fourth straight start here tonight. He comes into the game with a record for Minnesota of 3 wins, 6 losses, 2 ties, and there is his combined record. That is what he had with the Islanders, combined with Minnesota, 4.39. It's overall goals against average. At the other end of the ice, 24-year-old Kelly Rudy, 12-9-2 on the year, facing the Minnesota North Stars for the first time in his career. 3.56, that's jumped up a little bit. Gave up 10 goals over the weekend against the Washington Capitals. Center ice, Brian Trottier for the Islanders. Mike Bossy on right wing, John Tonelli on the left side. Willie Plett is out on right wing with Marouk at center ice. And Tony McKegney on the left wing for Minnesota. Handling the puck was Diddick across to Tonelli. Put it right on Plett's stick. It's picked up now by Giles, who shoots it in around the glass. Rudy cuts it off for Gerald Diddick. Up the left wing for Tonelli. Tonelli takes a look, lugs it out of his own zone, comes over center ice with a pass to Bossy that was just out of his reach, but offside as well. We're 22 seconds into the opening period.
See Mike Bossy pointing with his stick, Jigs. What he was trying to do is signal John Tonelli to bank it off the backboards in the corner. He had a jump on the Minnesota left winger McKegney, and the defenseman thought he could get away. If John Tonelli could have bounced it off the backboard, he'd have been first to the puck.
Now the North Stars win the draw. Marouk got it back to Giles and right back to Marouk. Left unable to pick it up on right wing, and Tonelli sent Trottier over the line with a shot into the chest protector of Melanson. Turns it around behind the net. Tonelli goes for the puck. Put it out in front. That's cleared at the defense as Valachek was right there. Giles and Tonelli bump back to the net. Bossy knocked it through the goal crease, and the North Stars work it up to Tony McKegney. Now to Willie Plett. That comes over the line. Stops, makes the play to McKegney, and he rifled one high and wide. It comes off the left wing for Tonelli. To Trottier. Trottier fed it into Bossy, who cut through the defense, but Marouk came back to knock it off his stick. North Stars clear it to center. Deneen out with Boudelier. This is Boudelier coming in on the left side. Being tied up in the play, and Sherman takes over. Ward Sherman dropped it to the corner. Roberts on the Minnesota defense, knocked off balance by Flatley, and Deneen out at center, had it for the Islanders, gave it to Brent Sutter. Got it into the left wing corner. It's cleared right back to Brent Sutter. Mounds the net, trying to get away from the check. Sutter unable to feed it to the blue line. It was broken up neatly by Bukestad. No score in the first period. Bukestad and Sherman over the line. The play broken up. It comes back to the blue line. Here's Roberts with a shot. Blocked by the goaltender, Kelly Rudy, and then the rebound went over top of the net. Gilbert falling has covered the puck in his own territory. The rullet is still loose, and it is. Acton comes out of the corner with it. Walks right through in front and tests Rudy, and on a scramble, Rudy sits down and has the puck beneath him.
Keith Acton working his way in front of the net. One of the signs that the Islanders weak there, Jigs. A lot of teams have not been able to do that over the years, but time and again we watch that. Here's Gilbert down on the puck, but there it is. It's loose. The referee reluctant to blow a quick whistle. There's Acton as he fishes it loose and then walks out in front of the net. He steps around a couple of the Islanders, gets a play at Kelly Rudy. He makes the initial save. That's the thing that Al Arbour would be screaming about play the man. He doesn't care. To take the man out of the play, he doesn't care where the puck goes. In a case like that, Kelly Rudy would probably end up with it anyway. Somebody had taken the body on Acton, eliminated him, so he didn't get a play at the net.
And just get him out of there. Trottier has come back out to take this face-off. Acton on the draw for Minnesota. The puck went to Ken Leiter. Gillies around behind the net for Langevin. Up to Howson. Scott Howson with Trottier and Gillies. Trottier works it ahead. Gillies chases it on the right side. He's into the Minnesota zone looking for Howson. The pass to Leiter, who came in late. Kenny Leiter bumped in the corner by Payne. The puck is cleared out to center ice. Wayne Sutter will be the first man back. He got away from Rudy. He skipped off the boards in an unusual manner. Wayne Sutter to Howson, who comes over center ice, and he lets to dump it in wide. Lawson slapped it outside the line. It'll end up just inside the New York Islander blue line. This is Langevin coming back, and it was knocked away from him. Rotten looks for somebody in front. Comes out himself and centers, and just wide of the net. There's Dino Ciccarelli being bothered by Leiter. Ciccarelli to Snaps. Harold Snaps dumps one off in front that was blocked. There'll be a penalty on the play. As Ciccarelli was knocked down, we get the first penalty of the game, and it'll go against the New York Islanders. A break in the action. 17:09 to play in the first period. There is no score.
Keith Acton walk out from the side of the net. Then Neil Broughton did it. Here's the exchange in front of Kelly Rudy. Leiter upending Dino Ciccarelli, getting a tripping penalty.
The Minnesota power play good on 46 chances. They've had 211 opportunities. They have the extra man and the puck. Roberts has given it to Tony McKegney. Back to Roberts at the blue line. Into center ice. He played it off Trottier, and back goes Gerald Diddick. The Rook comes in quickly. Diddick banked it to the line, but not out. Roberts slaps it around the boards. It's picked up by Marook. The flat. He's checked by Potvin. The Islander captain got it to the point. That's Solheim. Over to Roberts. Back to Solheim. Now to Roberts. Fires one toward the net that went wide. Flat unable to pick it off the boards. Diddick knocked it away from him. Over comes Potvin, and he slaps it around the glass and down the ice. Racing it is Solheim as the Islanders make changes. Gilbert has come out along with Kaller, Boudelier, and Deneen. No score. A little over a minute remaining in the Minnesota power play, and their pass out of their own end, was not a good one. Now Kaller at center, unable to pick up the puck. This is Tony McKegney. Gilbert chasing him. McKegney gave it to Giles, and his pass deflected by Deneen. Gilbert has it at center ice. Trying to catch the North Stars, and a player change comes in and is upended. There'll be a penalty against the Minnesota North Stars.
Good offensive move by Greg Gilbert. Catches the Minnesota North Stars on a player change. Here he comes. Steps around the body of, but not the stick. Solheim gets the tripping penalty. That nullifies, of course, the power play that Minnesota was enjoying. 44 seconds still remain on the penalty to Ken Leiter. Now Solheim has joined him in the penalty box.
Here's a problem the North Stars found themselves in Sunday night in their game against the New York Rangers. Each time they got a man advantage, they did something to nullify it.
Killing. That's a killing play. The team is on a power play. The Islanders will play even strength, and then they'll have a power play of themselves for 1 minute and 16 seconds.
Had a look at the bench, and of course, Coach Glenn Sonmore. Teams at 5 aside. There's no score in the first period. Giles works it up the right wing boards and out to center ice. Acton dealt it off to Payne on right wing. Langevin stepped in front of him, and Flatley picks up the puck. Patrick Flatley being watched by Payne. Works it across to the left side. This is Brent Sutter. Out of Gord Dineen. Payne starts out of his own end. It's over center ice. Fed it to the left side to Langevin, who dumps it in around the boards. 15 seconds left in Leiter's penalty. The puck loose, now cleared by Valaschek. Where Giles gets it ahead. And out to center ice comes Keith Acton. He's over the Islander line on the backhand. Is chased behind the net by Langevin, who picks off the puck. Leiter is back on. So the Islanders with a man advantage. They've just dumped it down the ice. This will cost them as Snep touches up. It'll be an icing call. 1 minute 9 seconds left in Solheim's penalty, but now the face-off back in the Islander end of the ice. And there's the statistics. The Islanders dropping to second in the National Hockey League's power play rankings.
17th. Look at Minnesota's penalty killing, not good at all. Only 4 teams have a worse penalty killing team than they. They're 12th on the road. 17th overall penalty killing. The Islanders, as you had mentioned, slipping to second place on the power play.
Scored only 5 power play goals in their last 26 chances. There's Sneps with a shot. Stick save by Kelly Rudy, and Boudelier has the puck. Ball Boudelier, right side to Tonelli. Off his stick at center. He was tripped up from behind by Shervin. Now Potvin follows through. Turns and comes back with it. Mike Bossy. Bossy, Trottier, and Tonelli up front. Potvin checked at his own blue line. Shervin trying to move in. Trottier took it away from him. Works it across to John Tonelli. Back to Trottier. Dumps it in wide of Melanson. Bossy goes in after it with Sneps. Puck came loose, and the North Stars play it around the boards. Here's Boudelier. Over to Potvin. Behind the back pass goes to Tonelli. Long pass to Boudelier. To Potvin. Off the shaft of his stick and cleared out into the center ice. Potvin unable to knock it clear. It's over the line. That's Bukestad with a blistering shot. Bossy here on left wing takes the turn and leads the Islanders over center ice. 10 seconds left in the power play. He's checked at the blue line. Boudelier gets a stick on it, and that's offside. Now 7 seconds remaining in Solheim's penalty.
Good opportunity for Minnesota on the Islanders' power play, Jigs. Bukestad shot it. Tremendous blast, carried just over the top of the crossbar. Kelly Rudy, you could tell that he had not expected a shot with that velocity. After it had gone by him, he kind of looked back at the player, trying to figure out who that was that let such a blast go.
Now Langevin and Leiter together on the Islander defense. Puck came back to Langevin. Solheim is back on, so the team's at 6 aside. There's no score. Roberts deep in his own zone for Minnesota. Failed to clear it out. There's a shot from the point that was blocked by Melanson. Leiter firing it off the right side. Leiter is a left-hand shot. Teamed up with Langevin, also a left-hand shot, playing defense, and the Islanders have dumped it in offside at the Minnesota blue line. We'll take a break with 13:33 remaining in the first period. The Islanders and the North Stars are scoreless.
With 2 seconds remaining in the hockey game to give Edmonton the win.
Calgary led 3-2 in the third period, late into the third period, and Edmonton hit for a couple late.
Coffey had 2 in that game.
Gillies trying to set up his teammate Wayne Sutter. Now Sutter stole it but couldn't handle the puck, and it's cleared down the ice. Dino Ciccarelli, who became a father yesterday, got it to Broughton. Centered one in front. Ciccarelli couldn't knock it out of the air. Got him wide open to the right of the Islander net. So they start in from the blue line with a pass to Broughton. He's checked by Gillies. There'll be a penalty on the play as Sutter picks up the puck. The whistle sounds, and the North Stars go right back to the power play. A break in the action with 12 minutes 53 seconds left in the first period. There at
Clark Gillies draws a penalty. Putting a check on Broughton, knocks him down. Gets the penalty. Hooking penalty. I guess you could give him tripping or hooking, whatever you want. But the Islanders in a defensive position again as Minnesota go to the power play.
The North Stars with the puck. Payne gets checked by Potvin, and Brent Sutter dumps it into center. That's Flatley chasing it on the right side. Melanson way out of the net. Plays it around behind the goal to Kirk Giles. Giles goes to left wing with a pass to Acton, and it's knocked off his stick by Flatley. So Broughton takes over back of the net. Broughton having another disappointing year with Minnesota. Worked it into center ice. Payne comes across to the right side, and Acton had trouble picking it up. He's Acton into Steve Payne. Back to Acton. To the blue line. This is Giles giving it to Acton. To Payne. Centered one in front, and just out of the reach of Cicerelli. Rotten back to Giles. Into Acton. Turns and shot it off Potvin, and the captain cleared it, but not out. Here's Giles. Out to Acton. Trying to come in around Potvin. Backs up on the play. Gave it to Steve Payne, who goes to the corner, then swings back on the boards to Broughton, who shot as a glove save by Rudy. 57 seconds remaining in the penalty time against Clark Gillies.
Thursday catch all the action when the Nets take on the LA Clippers. It's a battle in the backcourt as Michael Ray Richardson and Otis Birdsong go up against the Clippers' Derek Smith and Norman Dixon. The Nets and the Clippers Thursday at 7:15 exclusively on Sports Channel. Broughton shot jigs up just about where Kelly Rudy, if he had asked for it in the right place, that's where he'd have set. Just about waist high, where my catching gloves can catch it easily.
Catcher setting up back of the plate, huh? Roberts from the point. His shot was deflected. Rudy got in front of it, and here's Marook. McKegney back to Marook. Boudelier got a stick on that. Runs into Marook and got the head to Tonelli, but couldn't clear it out. McCarthy at the blue line. Shot one wide. Marook reached for the rebound as he came off the boards. It's picked up by McKegney. Back to McCarthy. To McKegney. Moves in with a drive. Hit the side of the net. Marook feeds it back to the blue line. McCarthy cuts to the left side. Lets a long shot go. Was going high, but is grabbed by Rudy as the Islanders, who are having a little trouble in their own end of the ice.
Defenseman Gord Dineen on the right side, Jigs, having his hands full. He's got Willie Plett trying to create a disturbance and set up a screen. There's the flip shot. That's a kind of a silly shot to take from the point. He'd be better off to pass it to somebody or dump it in the corner. He just kind of flipped it. You could see his wrists break just as he let it go. Watch here. He just kind of flicked it. I don't know what that was supposed to do. Anybody touching the puck up there, it's not going to count if it goes in the net anyway. But Giles let go a loose shot.
25 seconds remaining in the Minnesota power play. Berglund gets it back to Rouse. His shot went bouncing off Bukestad. Cleared by Dineen up to Trottier. Trottier fires one from the blue line off Roland Melanson. Tonelli in after the rebound, gets knocked down. A scramble. The puck is under Melanson. And play has been stopped. The puck was actually loose, and I think out of the sight of Dave Newell, who blew the whistle with 9 seconds remaining in the Minnesota power play. Struggle here as players separate. Tonelli and Steps were the last to get to the ice.
Did you notice the kind gesture of Kevin Collins, the linesman? He put John Tonelli's hat back on for him. Here's a rising shot by Trottier. Roland Melanson makes the save. Schneps and Tonelli go to the ice, and it's when the linesmen come in to kind of break things up. There's Schneps reaching up, grabbing a hold of John Tonelli. Here's Kevin Collins. He comes in, breaks them up. And just after that, he put the helmet back on and kind of fixed it in place. Here's an end zone view of that rebound as it bounced around. John Tonelli steps down on the ice with him. And there's Roland Melanson trying to grab it. John Tonelli wants to keep the puck moving, but the referee, when he loses sight of it in a scramble such as that, blows the whistle.
We have a camera in a new location for our Sports Channel telecast tonight, down in that end zone, low ice level, giving us that shot.
Good shot, too, Jig. That's the camera I'd love to have the night of the disputed goal.
You're not going to let that one rest.
No, that would have been a beauty.
That's Payne centering it in the Islanders zone. He had a man in front of the net, but couldn't make the puck get to him in time. And Gillies has dumped it in. Teams are at 6 aside again. There is no score, and we have just a little less than 11 minutes to play in this first period. Shervin goes to the left side. Acton over the Islander line, working on Leiter. Goes back of the net, dished it off. Langevin picked it up, pulls it away from Payne. Up the middle to Clark Gillies. He and Plain Sutter come over the line together. Sutter with the puck, can't get around Steps. Trying to clear it out for Minnesota with Shervin. Acton takes a hit from Plain Sutter, and Gillies works the puck back to Leiter. Into the center ice zone, Scott Howson backhanded it high. It was knocked down by Steps, but went right to Leiter. Waits, then shoots it in around the boards. Plain Sutter into forecheck. Howson picks it up. Scott Howson trying to cut through in front of the net. Still has control of the puck. It's knocked down by McKegney, and Harold Steps works it ahead for McKegney. 3-on-2 as they come over the Islander line. Shervin on right wing, shoots, blocking glove save by Rudy. It's on the doorstep and across the goal line. Minnesota takes the lead on a strange play. Rudy appeared to have made the save, then the puck got away from him. It's 1-0.
Hard shot. Kelly Rudy made the original save. Here comes Tony McKegney across the blue line. Here's Shervin's shot. That was a hard shot. Kelly Rudy blocked it. There's the puck loose. Was that McKegney that got a piece of it? It looked like it bounced off Ken Leader. No, coming in late and poking it in, the left winger. Here's the play again as Shervin lets go a hard blast. There's the stop by Kelly Rudy. Off balance. The puck drifting toward the net. It went off Leader. And then it's poked into the net. Was that Dennis Marouk coming in on the left side? We'll have to wait and see.
McKegney comes over the Islander line. Lets one go. He scores! McKegney makes it 2-0 as he catches Kelly Rudy going out. And quickly, Minnesota puts the Islanders in a hole.
Hard way to play the game, always coming from behind. Tony McKegney, deja vu. He came across center ice. As before, he gave it to Shervin. This time, he opted to shoot it. He put it just inside the lower right-hand corner. And it's quickly here, 2-0. His 22nd goal of the season for Tony McKegney.
Goal 16 seconds apart. Now Diddick from the blue line hit the side of the Minnesota net. Fans thought it was in, but not so. North Stars come to center ice, led by Willie Flett. Shoots it into the Islander zone. Marouk scored the first Minnesota goal at 10:10. And McKegney at 10:26. So it's 2-0 Minnesota as they start out of their own end of the ice. Roberts feeds it ahead. Off Acton's stick, Broughton rather. Brent Sutter at the line, unable to hold it. It's knocked back in on the delayed offside. So out come the Islanders. Boutilier's pass goes off the stick. Picked up by McCarthy, who shoots it in around the boards. Deneen back of the net. Now to Trottier. Couldn't get it out of there. Broughton trying to center to McCarthy, and his shot was blocked at the defense. Loose puck. Rudy gets a piece of it. It's still loose and comes right back to Kelly Rudy, who smothers it. We're going to play stoppage and a face-off deep in the Islander zone. We'll take a break in the action. 8 minutes, 29 seconds left in the first period. The North Stars lead 2-0.
All kinds of things, Jiggs, as we look along at the National Hockey League. The battle for the final berth here in the Patrick Division. Both the New Jersey Devils and Pittsburgh have completed their series against Edmonton over the season. The Rangers have yet to play them.
I guess when you have that number of games, 21 teams, each to play 80 games, and an unbalanced schedule, it's tough to get everybody, played everybody once around before the midway point of the season, or now as we approach the 50-game mark.
Did you hear the ooh and the ah? By Bossy, very seldom does he miss a pass. Missed one altogether that time. Things are not going well for the Islanders. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Islanders and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Islanders and Sports Channel is prohibited. Announcers on this telecast are selected by Sports Channel and approved by the New York Islanders.
The note on Al Arbour, it's taking a little time. It's almost like the Scotty Bowman watch as he goes for his 500th victory behind the Islander bench. Scotty Bowman, of course, now the winningest coach in National Hockey League history. Scott Howson in the face-off area along with Acton. Howson is waved out, so is Acton. So it's Payne and Dwayne Sutter on this draw. Gillies, the other Islander forward. North Stars checked in their own end of the ice. Howson went to center, one that was broken up, held in by Leiter to Howson. Taken off the puck by Payne. North Stars get it around to Giles behind the net. Into the center ice zone. Keith Acton gave it to Shervin, who's over the line. Dumps it into the corner. Ends up back of the net. Payne knocks it away from Leiter. Goes after it. Payne out in front. Shervin with a shot that drifted wide. It's loose back of the net. Howson being tied up. It comes right out in front, and Payne couldn't get a shot away. Steve Payne is checked. Langevin picks up the puck. Gave it to Gillies across to Dwayne Sutter. Sutter trying to come in around Harold Sneps. Go back of the net together, and Sutter is checked on the boards. Loose puck recovered by the North Stars. And they lose it. Howson set up Gillies, and his shot went wide. Dwayne Sutter parks back in the net. Put it out in front, and it's picked off. And brought out by Keith Acton. Platten over center. The Islander line had the puck knocked away from him. Potvin backhands it into center, and Snepts is there. Former Vancouver defenseman gives it to Rouse. Backhands it around the glass. Going back is Denny Potvin. Potvin banks it ahead for Gilbert, who tips it into the center ice zone. That'll force the North Stars to go back. Dave Richter picks up the puck. Gave it to Plett, who was coming back. Lost it to Potvin, and his shot went wide. Diddick over at the right point. Centers one in front off some skates. And recovered by Plett. To Marook. Marook dumps it into the Islander end of the ice. Potvin goes back, being chased by Willie Plett. Potvin lost it. Here's a chance for Marook, and a good stop by Kelly Rudy. Brent Sutter got it to the line, but not out. Potvin for the Islanders to Gilbert. Greg Gilbert comes over center. Moves in on the left side and fed it out of the reach of Patrick Flatley. It comes loose for Richter. Gilbert chased him to the corner, and the puck goes loose on the far boards. Tony McKegney picks it up. Pulled away from a high stick by Brent Sutter. But Flatley bumped gently. Richter works it around the boards, and there's Roberts. Ward Roberts got it to McKegney, out to center ice for Broughton. He and Plett crossed the line together, but Boudelier broke up the pass, sends Tonelli over the blue line on left wing. A drive, good stop by Melanson, and Giles clears it out into center ice. Dineen touched it, so there won't be any icing call here. Kelly Rudy gave it to Mike Bossy. Out of Gord Dineen, up the right side. Bossy couldn't pick it up. Broughton does. Broughton trying to come in around the defensive work of Dineen, gets chased back to the corner. The puck goes loose behind the net, and there's Bossy. Mike Bossy to Gord Dineen to Brian Trottier. Backhands it around the boards in the Minnesota zone. Melanson cuts it off back of the net. North Stars leading 2-0 in the first period. Cicerelli has the puck. Cicerelli put it right on the stick of McCarthy, who comes over the line. Couldn't leave it for Broughton, then gets checked on the boards. Trottier wheels it across in his own end of the ice for Mike Bossy. Back to Langevin. Langevin with 5 minutes to go in the period. A long shot from center was on target and ends up in the top of Roland Melanson's pads. There's a break in the action with 5 minutes to play in the opening period. The score, the North Stars 2.
Strange happenings, Jiggs. You don't often see Brian Trottier lose a puck on the way out of his own end. You don't often see Mike Bossy in his own end of the ice behind the net controlling the puck. Players doing a lot of strange things here. Press, trying to get things going.
Yes, these are trying times that the Islanders individually and collectively are going through right now. The Minnesota North Stars have cleared the puck into center ice, picked up by Langevin. Dave Langevin, a St. Paul, Minnesota native, backhands it in. Watson's loaded up, and the first man back is Bob Rouse. Couldn't clear it around the boards. Tries the opposite side, and there's Snepts. Harold Snepts into the center ice zone for Acton. Right side to Shervin. Shervin moves in. Acton centers, and it just went wide off his stick. Ryder tangles up with Payne, and the puck came loose. Carrying it out is Alan Kerr. Anders Kaller. Kerr, Kaller, and Helene, the Islander forwards. Kerr, who scored his first NHL goal against the North Stars, has dumped it in around the boards, and it'll be brought out by Bob Rouse. Ahead to Shervin. Backhands it into the Islander end of the ice, and the North Stars go for a player change. Gerald Diddick takes a look, plays it off the left wing boards, out to Clark Gillies. Gillies dumps it in high, chasing it is Wayne Sutter. Sutter centers one off. Howson is loose back of the net. Gillies knocks it away from Melanson. Wayne Sutter comes out in front. A centering attempt right through the goal mouth. Here's Diddick with a shot. That was blocked by McKegney. Tony McKegney to Dennis Baruch. Out to Willie Plett. Plett comes to the Islander line. Trying to move in on right wing. Is chased to the corner by Poppan's check, and Wayne Sutter wraps it around the boards and down into the Minnesota end. No one has touched it. And as they do now, Richter getting a stick on it. The Islanders are called for icing. There's a break in the action with 3 minutes, 27 seconds left in the first period. The North Stars lead. See the placement of the face-off to the right of the Islander net. Rook on the draw for Minnesota against Brent Sutter of the Islanders. And the linesman, Collins, asked Brent Sutter to leave. Marook wins the face-off, but it went right to Patrick Flatley. Breaks out with Gilbert, who takes the pass here on left wing. Didn't get it back to Flatley as Roberts had him tied up. Marook dumps it around behind the net. Dave Richter starts out in the Minnesota defense, gets double-teamed in his own end. The Islander forechecking, forces the puck to the corner, but Marook has cleared it. Roberts and Gilbert go to the opposite corner. Gilbert lost his balance, and McKegney feeds it ahead for Willie Plett. Plett Checked by Dineen at center ice. Flatley with it now. Played it off Marook into the Minnesota zone. They get it out quickly. Boudelier being bothered by Flett. Gilbert comes back for the puck. Gave it to Gord Dineen. Head for Brent Sutter. Went off his stick. Roberts at the Minnesota line. Played it right back off McKegney's stick. And here's Dineen. Put it in and out of the skates of Broughton. And Brent Sutter feeds it rink wide for Bossy. 2 men back. Bossy over the line with a slap shot. Melanson the save. And the rebound is picked off by Giles. Giles works it to the right side. Broughton takes a hip check from Langevin at the Islander line that separated him from the puck. Tonelli across to Bossy. Into the Minnesota end of the ice. Gave it back to Tonelli. Shoots Melanson. The glove save. And he'll hold on to it.
Roland Melanson didn't have time to get across the net. John Tonelli anticipating the move by Melanson a little quicker. Put it back from whence he was supposed to come but hadn't left. Here's the shot by Tonelli. Melanson hadn't quite moved as he picks it off easily. Holding on to it, stopping the play. Dave Langevin a moment ago laying out one of his patented checks down the right wing side. That's Broughton, Neil Broughton, tasting a lick from Dave Langevin as he caught him with his head down.
Now Trottier to take the face-off. Tonelli on the left, Bossy on the right. Langevin and Leiter together on defense. Puck dropped and cleared back to the Minnesota defenseman, Kirk Giles. Giles fired it off the boards. It's picked up by Langevin at center ice. Ahead to Trottier. Now to Tonelli on left wing. John Tonelli over to Mike Bossy. Shoots. Good stop by Melanson, who is down. And Payne fires it out. No, he did not get it out. Bossy tries to move him in front. Oh, and it was tipped wide by Trottier as Bossy set him up. Langevin at the blue line, pinching in. Trottier dumps it back to the net. Melanson lost his balance, but gets some help from his teammates. Around it goes to Payne. Leiter got a piece of him. Bossy with a shot that steered aside. Tonelli out of the left wing corner, takes a look, centers it back. Leiter lets it go, and it missed the net. Comes back to Langevin. Langevin shoots it wide of the goal. It ends up in the far corner. Steve Payne feeds it up the middle. Acton across to Shervin on right wing. Shervin a shot. That's wide of the target. Came to the line, but not out. Payne centers one. That went wide. Mike Bossy got it to Trottier. Shoots it from center ice. Right on target. Melanson the save. He left it for Harold Snepps. Just over a minute to play in the opening period. Dino Cicerelli shoots the puck into the Islander end. They got away from Kelly Rudy. Broughton picks it up. Works it back to the net. McCarthy trying to come out in front. Gave it to Rouse at the blue line. His shot deflected and backhanded across in front. What a sprawling save. 2 of them in a row by Rudy. My, oh my. At center ice, Potvin picks up the puck. Comes over the Minnesota line. Takes a drive off the stick of Snepps and high and wide. They clear it down the boards into the Islander zone, wide of the net. Going back for it is Potvin. There'll be an icing call against Minnesota. Pressure at one end, and then the North Stars come back with a great opportunity to make their lead 3, Eddie.
Tremendous opportunity for the North Stars, Jiggs. What a move by Kelly Rudy. Partially his move, partially Dino Cicerelli, I believe it was, standing to his right. Trying to lift it over his outstretched arm, but he couldn't get it over. Take a look. There's Rouse as he shoots it from the point. It's deflected. Stopped in front. That one was rung off the side of the net. And right here, Dino Cicerelli with 3 opportunities. He couldn't get the puck over the outstretched arm if he'd had slowed it down. Of course, when you're anxious, you're standing there. You've got an open net, and you want to put it in quickly. Kelly Rudy had his arm out. Cicerelli kept batting it into it.
34 seconds remaining as you look at Dennis Marook. North Stars have had a dozen shots. The Islanders have had 11, and it's 2-0 Minnesota. Puck centered for Flatley. Fired it right on. Melanson again up at the top of the goal crease to make the save. The Islanders in November traded Roland Melanson to the Minnesota North Stars for future considerations, being a #1 draft pick either this summer, 85 or 86. The choice is the Islanders, I understand.
They get their pick. If the draft picks aren't that good, they'll go to next year.
Dineen shot just skipped off the stick and wide of the net. Brent Sutter puts it out in front. Nobody there for the Islanders, and Marook carries it over the center ice stripe. Fires it in wide of Kelly Rudy. Boudelier knocked it away from Flett, who was coming in quickly. Brent Sutter works it over to Dineen. Carries the puck into the center ice area. Lines up for a long shot into the chest protector of Melanson, who has held it long enough for a face-off. We have 3 seconds remaining in this opening period.
Jig, 16 players between the Minnesota North Stars and the New York Islanders have either been here or are here or have been here and have gone back. Between the two teams, the North Stars have had 8 players and the Islanders the same number from the Springfield Indians. Solheim, Rouse, Valaschek, Dirk Graham, David Jensen, and Brian Lawton, along with Dave Richter and Mike Sands, have all had time with the Springfield Indians this season.
Springfield lost a heartbreaker Sunday night, I understand. Were defeated by Rochester 3-2. Still a point ahead in a third place position. Point ahead of Baltimore. Battle for third place. Springfield with 51. Baltimore with 50 points in the American Hockey League Southern Division.
For the Islanders, Deneen, Scott Howson, Alan Kerr, Ron Handy, Roger Kortko, Ken Leiter, Vern Smith, and Mark Hamway have all been here or are here.
A delay here as referee Dave Newell is coming back to the timekeeper's bench. 3 seconds showing on the clock. Trache, Bossy, and Tonelli. They shift Tonelli over to the right side, Bossy to the left. Much as they would do on a power play, trying to get the draw for one quick shot.
A lot of teams are doing that now, Jig, switching the wingers in the offensive zone by habit.
Yes, I think almost every team in the league. Trache moves in. The puck was not dropped. Bossy realigns at the edge of the circle.
The thinking behind it, of course, is that if Trache could get it to Bossy, he's in a perfect position as a right-hand shot to shoot it. If Tonelli was standing there, he'd have to pull the puck back and cock it before he could shoot it. Bossy would not have to.
But Bossy, or at least Trache should say, was waved out, and they did get the shot right from the face-off as they set up Mike Bossy. Tonelli had gone in to take the draw after Trache was waved out of there. But Bossy couldn't get it by Melanson. Let's take a look at this face-off again, if we may, and see. We've talked so often about face-offs being important.
3 seconds remaining. The primary is, of course, to get it to Bossy. That's exactly what they did, and he ripped it just wide of the left goal post as he stood looking at it. Roland Melanson saying, well, that was too close. Come on, boys, cover a little closer on the face-offs.
We've come to the end of one period, and your score from the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum is the Minnesota North Stars 2. The Minnesota North Stars leading the New York Islanders 2-0 after one period here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Want to put some excitement in your life? Very simply done. Register now. Sign up for the New York Islanders fan cruise. You'll join Eddie and myself and 6 of the New York Islander players sailing out of San Juan, Puerto Rico on Saturday, June 8th. And the overall price to board the Canard Countess, as you see it on your screen right now, includes all your meals. You'll have every meal aboard the ship, including a fabulous midnight buffet nightly. There'll be onboard programs including nightclub shows, first-run films, multi-tiered pool, a gymnasium, a gambling casino, volleyball, paddle tennis, golf driving range, a whole lot more. Plus, of course, you'll be in the company of the 6 Islander players that we've mentioned before: Clark Gillies, Bill Smith, Bob Nystrom, John Tonelli, Brian Trache, and Denny Potvin, plus Eddie and myself. There are the numbers on your screen right now. There are a limited number of reservations available for Islander fans, and if you haven't already exercised your option, do so. We've got some friends coming, I believe.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Look forward to having a whole lot more, but we're going to have a good time no matter who shows up. That's guaranteed. I'm going to have a great time.
Oh, you can count on it. We hope you'll be there, folks. Call those folks tomorrow at Hartford Holiday Tours and sign up. All right, what do you have for us?
Well, we'll take a look at the goals scored in the first period, Jags. Of course, both of them scored by the Minnesota North Stars. They struck at 10-10. Which is not a radio station in this case. It's the time of the goal. Here's Gordy Shervin, just brand new from the Edmonton Oilers. Good stop by Kelly Rudy, but again, a rebound tucked in. It went in off the goal post, in behind Kelly Rudy. He's still diving at it, but it's in. Marouk, his 12th of the season from Tony McKegney, and Gord Shervin at 10-10 of the first period, making it 1-0. Goal number 12. Well, it was only 16 seconds later. Away come the Minnesota North Stars again, led by, who else? Tony McKegney, one-time Buffalo Sabre, one-time Quebec Nordique. There's his shot. right between the feet. I thought that went inside the lower right-hand corner. The replay shows me that it went between the feet of Roland Melanson. Marook assisting on McKegney's 22nd goal of the season at 10:26, and it was 2-0. Minnesota had a couple of good opportunities. Here's Giles from the point. Good stop by Rudy. That shot off the side of the net by McCarthy. And look at here, Dino Ciccarelli. There's his second one. There's his third one before Gord Diddick can knock it away from him. A great opportunity for the Minnesota North Stars to take a 3-0 lead, but that taken away by a couple of good stops by Kelly Rudy and some help from Gerald Diddick. We'll be back for the start of the second period in just a moment. You're watching New York Islanders hockey right here on Sports Channel. Second period, we await the players. They can't start without them, and there you see it. Minnesota North Stars lead the New York Islanders 2-0. The 1984-85 New York Islanders yearbook. Yes, their yearbook is now available. This year's edition, along with a full color photo of your favorite Islander, includes a special 12-page supplement commemorating the Islanders' 12 years in the National Hockey League. To get a copy, send a check or money order for $6. And that includes postage and handling to Islanders Yearbook, Sports Programs Incorporated, 4100 Palisades Avenue, Union City, New Jersey, 07087. There it is on your screen. Copy it down, send $6. Beautiful yearbook this year again. Jiggs?
In case we may have misled some folks on the pregame show tonight, the scene of the auction, the Islander auction to benefit the Long Island Easter Seal Society, will be at the Roosevelt Field Shopping Mall. You register between 12 and 1. The registration fee is $1 in order to participate in the bidding for Islander memorabilia, jerseys, sticks, equipment, tickets, all kinds of things to be auctioned off by several Islander players between 1 and 6. But you must register, and you must be over 18 years of age. Must register between 12 and 1. The auction takes place this coming Sunday at the Roosevelt Field Shopping Mall. They raised over $10,000 last year and hope to better that this coming Sunday, February 3rd.
I was going to say, Jiggs, the little things mean a lot. Just thinking back to that face-off at the end of the period. Could have made a big difference the way the Islanders approached this hockey game if they'd have been able to get Bossy's puck into the net on a nice face-off by John Tonelli. Saturday, Islander action continues when they go to Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins. Watch as veteran Dennis Potvin and the rest of the Islanders go head-to-head against the Penguins and their rookie sensation, Mario Lemieux. Tune in for all the action on Saturday at 8 p.m. exclusively on Sports Channel. Let's take a look at the out-of-town, the scoreboard. Sports Channel's out-of-town scoreboard. Washington is trailing in the second period. What is going on here? 2-0. Detroit. Dwight Foster has scored 2 goals for Detroit. They lead 2-0 in the second period. I wonder if people would say then that after such a big weekend against the Islanders, they've kind of let up a little bit. Now, I'd sooner give the credit to Detroit. We've seen them do some great things over the past couple of years.
Capitals had won both games against Detroit to this point, shut them out in Washington 4-0 and beat them in Detroit 4-2 earlier this year.
Wasn't it last year that the Detroit Red Wings shut out the Islanders?
Yes, it was.
Was that Michelob? No, Greg Stephan, I think. Your friend Michelob.
Well, let me live that one down, huh? 2-0. Minnesota leading the Islanders as we get the second period underway. Potvin fed it up left wing to Tonelli, to Trottier. Bossy moves in as well, but they're offside. This forward line, Trottier, Bossy, and Tonelli had 8 of the Islanders' 13 shots on goal in the first period.
Industrious line. A couple of good opportunities. Bossy had a couple. Roland Melanson made some good stops. Twice Bossy. Not often do you see him miss the net from certain positions on the ice, but twice tonight he did.
Diddick just fed the puck to Tonelli, to Bossy, back to Tonelli. His backhander is blocked by Melanson, and he covers up on it.
Another shot for the line. Bossy and John Tonelli teaming up, give and go. I used to have that when I played jigs. I give, you go. That's what I used to tell the guys. There's the backhand shot by John Tonelli. Roland Melanson making the stop. And, of course, he knows well enough that right behind a loose puck is going to be at least one Islander moving in.
He gets the drop back to Dinnick. His shot right on is kicked out by Melanson, and Potvin dumps it around behind the net. Picked up by Trottier, who's centered. Nobody in the slot. And Giles works it out into center ice. Marook, Flett, and McKegney, the Minnesota forwards. Dinnick with the puck here on the right side. Dumps it in wide of Melanson. Tonelli over at left wing. Fires it high and wide. It comes bouncing off the boards. Picked up by Trottier. Into Bossy back in the net. He couldn't make it lie down, and Kirk Giles takes over for Minnesota. Bossy checked in, but Flett was there. Makes a check from Tonelli, and the puck goes loose. Dallas check with Flett. Bossy comes back. Now Giles works it around to the left wing for Tony McKegney, and Trottier was on him quickly. McKegney dumped it out into center ice. Potvin has given it to Dineen. Dineen to Trottier. Had trouble handling it. Pulls it back to McKegney's check. His own line. Played it right to Marook. Oh, picked up again by Brian Trottier. Potvin. Toward Dineen. Dineen sends Trottier out of his own end. Trottier comes over the Minnesota line with a pass to Patrick Flatley. Tied up by Belichick. Trottier has it behind the net. Trottier into the corner. Tonelli has to chase it. Pulls it off the boards and away from McKegney. Now tries to get around Belichick, and his centering attempt hit Trottier and went wide. Belichick slams it down the ice into the Islander zone. Boudelier back to touch up, and the result will be an icing call.
On Minnesota's second goal, Jigs, you have to add an assist now to Gordy Roberts. It should read McKegney, his 22nd from Marook and Roberts at 10:26, of the first period. You know that Minnesota tonight completes the season series against all of the New York area teams, the Rangers, the Islanders, and the New Jersey Devils.
Got out of the way before the 50-game mark. Huh?
We were talking about scheduling and how the Rangers have not yet played the Edmonton Oilers.
Going to correct that, I think, on this road trip coming up, are they not? Brent Sutter to face off for the Islanders. Keith Acton for Minnesota. The draw went right in front of the net. Cleared by Melanson to Roberts. Up to Steve Payne. Long pass off Boudelier's stick at center. He has to chase it. Shervin with a good burst of speed beat him to it. And lost his balance, and the puck is loose back of the net. Dineen unable to pick it up. Acton put it out in front, and a short side save by Kelly Rudy. The Islanders end up dumping it down the ice and will be called here, but a close call back in the Islander end of the ice. We'll take a break. 17:41 left in the second period. The North Stars lead the Islanders.
Some more of the hesitancy on the side of the Islanders. Here, Doug Shervin gets in behind Paul Boudelier. Now, Boudelier's a fast skater. Acton comes in. There's the pass. Watch this. Good stop by Kelly Rudy. He held the post. He had to start to make a move, but he held the post long enough to make a save off Shervin.
Minnesota wins the draw, and Richter just shot it wide of the net. Flatley here on right wing. Ran into Roberts at the Islander line. Now Dineen dumps it into the Minnesota end of the ice. It got away from Melanson. Gilbert into forecheck. It's hauled down, and there will be a penalty against Minnesota. The puck's still in play. Boudelier picks it up. Dumps it behind the net, and as Melanson controls it, play is called, and the Islanders will get a power play opportunity. Interference call being handed out by Dave Newell.
Payne takes Greg Gilbert right here. Look at the left leg of Payne as he pulls the feet out from underneath Gilbert and slams him into the boards, going in backwards. Out of control, Greg Gilbert. He had the presence, so to tuck his chin down into his chest, keeping the back of his head away from the board. But Richter draws an interference penalty at 2:41. Islanders, another power play. There's talking about oddity. How do you figure this? Winnipeg has never beaten Edmonton over 3 years. Over the last 3 years. Philadelphia hasn't lost to Edmonton in 7 straight games.
Yet they've lost
Winnipeg sweeps the season series from the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, you figure that out. And that.
That's why on any given night, that's why they play the game.
Yes, that's right.
The Islanders for the man advantage, and Potvin shot one off McCarthy and up into the seat.
That's why they play the games. That reminds me of the late Ted Reeve, the great sports writer in Toronto. when players used to always tell him when he went into the dressing room, particularly in exhibition games, say, well, listen, it doesn't really count. He says, well, if it doesn't count, why do you keep score?
One of the great lines of a fine writer, the late Ted Reeves.
Has an arena named after him in Scarborough, one of the suburbs of Toronto.
Trottier, Tonelli, and Bossy on this power play. Trottier handling the puck out in front. Leiter's shot was blocked, and the North Stars get a break. McCarthy and Brunton come up the ice with only Potvin back. McCarthy to Brunton, and he scores. Short-handed goal.
Kelly's rule, I guess it is. Murphy's Law, whatever you want. Things always seem to get worse before they get better. Now it's a short-handed goal against the Islanders. A block shot. Ken Leiter tried to shoot it. Knocked away from him quickly. And down the right wing side, Tom McCarthy. He faked the shot. Kelly Rudy has to hold the post. And there it is. Quick pass to Broughton, and he slammed it into the open net. And it's 3-0 now. 3-0, Minnesota.
Leiter had a shot at the blue line, blocked right there. Managed to pick it up again, fed it across to Trottier. Slips over the Minnesota line, but Bossy couldn't hold the line. It goes in offside. Broughton from McCarthy at 3:03, a shorthanded goal. It's 3-0, Minnesota.
And the Islanders are still on a power play. Ken Leiter now getting pulled to the bench in favor of Paul Boudelier. Leiter, who had played so well, Jiggs, in the game against Washington, the second game on Sunday, seems to be having his problems here in this game tonight.
Boudelier has dumped the puck into the Minnesota end. Tonelli gets it back to Potvin, lets it go. Good pad save by Melanson. A big rebound comes outside the line. Potvin gave it to Paul Boudelier, and his cross-ice pass is tipped up into the seats as Bukestad reached for it.
That was the fourth shorthanded goal scored by the Minnesota North Stars. The Islanders now have relinquished 3 shorthanded goals.
Well, you talk about Philadelphia and Edmonton, Philadelphia and Winnipeg. How about the fact that the Islanders have won only 2 of their last 10 home games against the Minnesota North Stars? 2 wins, 3 losses, 5 ties here at the Nassau Coliseum. The last 10 regular season games.
Was it early last year that it was a 8-7 game?
Was that last year or the year before? Brent Sutter just left his skates to get the puck into the Minnesota zone. It's picked up on right wing by Flatley to Brent Sutter. Gilbert parked in front of the net. Brent can't get the puck to him. It went back to Boudelier to Potvin. Potvin fires it toward the net. Flatley turns, and Melanson made the save. The rebound is cleared up the boards, held in by Potvin. Over to Brent Sutter. He's checked, and Acton unable to clear it out. Potvin gets a stick on it. Worked it in along the boards, but Steps was there, and the North Stars have dumped it down the ice. 30 seconds remaining in Richter's penalty. Kelly Rudy fires it around to the right side for Brent Sutter. Watched by McKegney as he gave it to Boudelier, and he just shoots it in wide. Going in after it is Pat Flatley. Right up in the boards by Roberts. Gilbert gets loose back of the net. Dragged down by Roberts. Now Flatley went for the puck, and he is knocked down. It's underneath. Gord Roberts finally knocked loose without a whistle and picked up by McKegney. Hand pass is called against Minnesota with only 2 seconds left in the penalty to Richter.
The Islanders slipping in the power play down to second place now, as you'd mentioned, behind Calgary, Jiggs. Minnesota North Stars, the penalty killing 17th overall. Let's take a look at some of the action in behind Roland Melanson in Minnesota's net. That's Gordy Roberts, number 10, as he wrestles Greg Gilbert off the boards and off the puck. Then he goes right back after Patrick Flatley, pulling him to the ice. Then he's trying to get the puck underneath him, figuring that the referee won't call him for a delay of the game if he gets the puck underneath his torso, not underneath his hand.
Howson on the faceoff, pulled it back to Gillies, fired one off the left shoulder of Melanson. Teams at 6 aside. Langevin to Dwayne Sutter, back to Leiter, into Dwayne Sutter. Sutter to Clark Gillies, to the point. Leiter lets it go, and it was blocked in front of the net. Picked up by Richter as Dwayne Sutter is filled on the play, and the North Stars force the Islanders back into their own end. Langevin around the boards to the right side. Howson comes over to take the man. Dwayne Sutter unable to pick up the puck, however. And the North Stars firing it into the Islanders zone and played it offside. So we'll take a break here with 14:52 left in the second period. The North Stars leading the...
Always a point to make, Jigs, when you have so many young players and players from the minor league system on a team, although Minnesota has enough of their own, but things happen just a little quicker in the National Hockey League, and I think that's what's happening for the Islanders.
Every player that comes up makes that statement about the adjustment, the speed, quickness of which things are done. Moving the puck, a half step and skating in a lot of cases too. Snaps has it back to the Minnesota goal. Fires it up the right side. It comes loose at center ice. Chasing it is Ken Leiter. Leiter and Housen together. Rotten into forecheck. Leiter works it around the boards for Housen. Scott Housen feeds it out into center ice. Got away from Velasquez, and Rouse will pick it up. The Islanders completing player changes. Rouse goes to the left side. Payne unable to trap the pass, and here's Dineen sending Kerr over the line on the right wing. He gets checked. Payne was plated and intended for Acton, and it's slapped in by Matt Helene. Coming in for it as Kerr gets bumped on the boards, and the puck ends up in the stick of Payne. Now to Acton. Acton over the Islander line. Dropped it at the blue line. They tried to set up Payne on a give and go that didn't work. Payne being bothered by Caller. The puck still loose. Payne lost it in the corner. Kerr poking at it. It's held in by Velasquez at the left point. Into the corner. Dineen unable to knock it away from Acton. Acton gets knocked down, and the puck comes out to center ice. Velasquez to Giles. Giles to Acton to Payne. Works on Dineen at the Islander line. Waits for some help to arrive now. He likes to shoot it around the boards. That's cut off by Rudy, and Gord Dineen goes back. Dineen dumps it off the boards at center. Nothing more than a whistle here for icing as Giles goes back. Take a break with 13 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the middle period. The Minnesota North Stars are leading the New York Islanders by a score of 3.
Have the Detroit Red Wings. Larson has scored to give Detroit 3. McEwen has scored for Washington for their 1. That's still in the second period.
Elsewhere tonight, the Devils at Los Angeles, Winnipeg at St. Louis, and Edmonton is in Calgary tonight.
Back-to-back games, home and home.
Here's Roberts at the Islander line. His shot right on. Rudy just got enough of it, and Potvin picks up the puck. Ahead to Tonelli. Cross off Trottié's stick. Bossy hands it right back to Brian Trottié. Upped it in around Roberts. Tonelli over on the left wing boards. Takes a bump. Goes down. The puck in and out of the skates of Richter. Now shot down the ice by Dennis Marouk. It's rolling on edge. And this will be an icing call as Dinnick goes back to get it.
Just thinking about the fact that there are 16 players that have been up or are still up for both of these teams, and they both come from the same American Hockey League Springfield Indians team. Now they play together, of course, so that may raise some interesting points as this game goes along. Saw Kerr a moment ago having a few words with Giles. There's Jiggs McDonald's old friend, Willie Fleck.
He may not acknowledge that, but
well, he did today earlier.
Yeah. Former Rookie of the Year, as you saw. The campaign that was. Seems like the Heisman Trophy. Bodies tumbling all over the place in the Minnesota end of the ice. In the meantime, Marouk brings the puck into the Islanders' zone. Picked up by McKegney, and they score. Willie Fleck sets up McKegney. It's 4-0.
Islanders again getting in trouble in their own end of the ice as Minnesota press across the blue line, and we just talked about Willie Fleck. Let's take a look as Dennis Marouk led the rush. After him, Gerald Diddick. The puck in behind Diddick, and before Dennis Potvin can get to who else? Tony McKegney. He's got it to Plett, and Plett's put it in behind Kelly Rudy on a quick shot. Nice play by McKegney. Nice play by Dennis Marouk. He has room right here. See Gerald Diddick in pursuit. The puck bouncing off Brian Trottié's skate right on the stick of McKegney, and then Plett puts it in.
The Islanders down 4-0. We're going to get a break here. A tripping penalty to be handed out by referee Dave Newell, setting up an Islander power play. We still have 12-13 left in the second period with Minnesota leading 4.
New York Islanders desperately needing a goal. Go to the power play again. The last time they went to the power play, a shorthanded goal by Broughton.
Brent Sutter gets the draw to Gilbert, back to Boudelier. Into Gilbert, who had lost his balance and was down on the ice. Snaps knocked it away from him. Brent Sutter picks it up. Fed it to Greg Gilbert. Back to Boudelier. Lets the shot go through a screen and just wide. Leiter over on the left point. Got it to Brent Sutter, to Patrick Flatley. Steps parked out in front of the net. Puck went to Brent Sutter. Back to the point. That's Leiter. Into Sutter, who had to knock it down. Beats Boudelier at the blue line. Fires one and was blocked in front. Ends up at the left point. Leiter works it in around the boards to Brent Sutter. Sutter trying to come out in front, turn, shoots off the pads of Melanson. Greg Gilbert gets tied up in the corner. There's Shervin over on the right side, slapping it down the ice. Using Shervin as a penalty killer, and the Islanders start out. Boudelier lead pass to Brent Sutter, comes in with a drive. Melanson got a piece of it. Roberts slaps it around the boards. Leiter at the left point had it hop over his stick. Recovers in time to knock it away from McKegney, and back goes Greg Gilbert. Gilbert put it into center ice. Richter moves up for Minnesota and shoots it off the glass. All Boudelier to Patrick Flatley. 52 seconds remaining in this power play. Trottier with the puck at center. Comes over the line, trying to skirt in around Roberts. It's held up on the boards, and Roberts feeds it to Acton. Keith Acton checked by Boudelier. The fans set up a familiar call from days gone by. Roley. Little sarcasm. 30 seconds remaining in the Islander power play. Potvin to Mike Bossy on right wing. Comes over the line. The pass to Potvin. Gets in deep. Centers one. They score. Trottier slams it home.
Dennis Potvin leads the rush. A beautiful backhand pass. Finding Brian Trottier moving in on the left side. And he dumped it quickly. Here's Potvin. You see him make a quick look, and then he passed it quickly. That has to be a fast pass. Otherwise, the goaltender, Roland Melanson, would get a stick on it. Here they come out of their own end of the Minnesota end of the ice. There's the pass. A quick one. Slammed in by Brian Trottier. His 21st goal of the season. A power play goal for the New York Islanders.
Here's the story. 4-1 now is your score. James at 6 aside. Gillies out with Howson and Dwayne Sutter. This is Howson backhanding it into the Minnesota end of the ice. Offhand and Bossy getting the assist. The puck comes loose. Rook tapped it back for Valaschek. Comes up the left side. Valaschek knocked down by Dwayne Sutter. Diddick with the puck. A long pass to Howson is over the line. Howson to Dwayne Sutter. He shoots. Melanson got in front of that. It's cleared away from Diddick at the Minnesota line. Ellie Rudy out of the net, banks it off the boards, and hit the linesman McCourt, picked up by Howson to Potvin, who dumps it out over the blue line. Valaschek waited for his teammates to get back on side before dumping it in. Going back is Denny Potvin. Long pass to Dwayne Sutter. Sutter carries it over the Minnesota blue line, trying to get around steps, and it's knocked away from him. Steve Payne to the left side to McCarthy. Dwayne Sutter knocks him off the puck. Dineen slaps it right back in again. Caller goes in after it, runs into Rouse, and the puck is loose for Tom McCarthy. McCarthy put it right on the stick of Kerr. In along the boards to Helene. He's checked by Snets. Kerr comes over. Puck came off the boards without a whistle, and here's Tom McCarthy. Up to Bob Rouse. Rouse at center ice. Shoots it into the Islanders zone. Kelly Rudy cuts it off for Dineen. Up to Alan Kerr. Kerr back to Caller. Works it up the right wing boards. Helene chasing it down with Richter. It goes to Kerr. Cuts it off right wing. Centers. Caller too well covered. Then Caller pulled Broughton down, and there will be an Islander penalty. McCarthy has the puck. Melanson gets out of the net as it's dumped into the Islander zone. Melanson had gotten to the bench. As Rudy touches the puck, we get the whistle. A break in the action here. Minnesota going to the power play, and they lead the Islanders 4-1.
Lead to the Islanders in the offensive zone. Anders Caller here hooking on Broughton. Broughton seems to be involved in a lot of plays for Minnesota. That time Caller pulling him from behind, getting a hooking penalty. Minnesota power play.
They hold the puck at the Islander line, and Giles got it into Payne. Around the boards, Acton tied up by Dineen. The puck jabbed loose by Steve Payne to the blue line to Broughton, then to Giles. Fired one toward the net that was tipped by Boudelier. Ran into Cicerelli, and the puck goes to Payne. Back to Cicerelli. Over to the right side. That's Acton to Giles. Big slap shot. Sails high on a deflection. Flatley moves over. Runs into Broughton. Dineen there as well. Here's Payne putting it out in front. Quick shot. Rudy able to make the save as they fired it off right wing. Steve Payne takes a look. Comes out of the corner. Lets it go. Rudy the save. And Boudelier gets it to Brent Sutter. Backhanded it down the ice. Watson leaves it back of the net as Bossy comes in for the Islanders. Watson brought it out in front, gave it to Broughton. No Stars get organized now. Giles up the right side for Cicerelli. Get it to Acton. Acton dumps it back to the net. Cicerelli picks it up in the corner. Dino's off to a slow start. Had some injury problems this year. Broughton back to Cicerelli. Takes a look. Maybe gave it right back to him. Now Broughton feeds Cicerelli. Centered one across to the far side. There's Acton with 38 seconds left in the power play. The puck knocked loose, and Denny Potvin fed it to Bossy off his stick and cleared out over the line by Broughton. Roberts at center ice for Minnesota. Sends Cicerelli over the line. Dennick got a piece of him. Cicerelli's pass held in at the right point by Marook. Marook went in deep and comes back to Roberts. Fires one. Blocked by Kelly Rudy, and it's cleared ahead. Bossy races after it at center ice. It's over the line. Had to reach behind to pick it up, and by then the North Stars were back, and now they get a break. Coming in all alone is McCarthy's hooked by Bossy. There'll be a penalty, maybe a penalty shot. Play continues. Melanson gets out of the net. Blood picks up the puck. Caller is out of the penalty box. Minnesota holding on to the puck, dumping it back into their own zone. Coming back for it is Tony McKechnie. Gives it to Roberts. Roberts into the center ice zone. Willie Plett dishes it off to the right side. Broughton poking at it. It's cleared now, and play is called with 6:36 left here, and it'll be a penalty for hooking against Bossy. We'll take a break. The North Stars lead the Islanders.
Bossy looked at like he was going to have a breakaway for a moment. Lost the puck, had to stop and come back and get it. Then when he went to make a play, he hit McCarthy right in the middle of the shins. Bossy in pursuit. McCarthy on a breakaway. There's a hook. Pulls McCarthy off balance. Tony McKechnie had a chance. Knocked aside. Now, do you think there was too much time lapse? That should have been a penalty shot. Giles just hit the goalpost. I better keep playing.
Giles has the puck again at the blue line. Fires one toward the net that was knocked down by Baudelaire. Broughton gets a stick on it. Set up McKechnie over on right wing. Brett causing havoc in front of the net. The puck goes to Giles, to McKechnie, and it was tipped. Now they fired wide off the stick of Marook. McKechnie comes out of the corner, centering to Giles. Shoots from the point, and that tipped wide of the net. Picked up by McKechnie. Tony McKechnie with Brett all over Deneen in front of the goal. Here's McKechnie. Centered one back of the net for Marook to the blue line to Broughton. Into Dennis Marook. Now to McKechnie. Back to Marook. To the point for Broughton. Once more to Marook. And right back to Broughton. He shoots. Pad save by Kelly Rudy, and it's slapped down the ice. Wants it out of the net quickly. Gives it to Kurt Giles with 1 minute and 3 seconds left in this power play. Giles flips it into the Islander end of the ice. Rudy blocked it. Banks it up the right wing for Caller, who's cleared it out to center ice. This is McCarthy back. Over to Roberts. Now to Acton. Acton steps across the Islander line on right wing. Moves in slowly, being watched by Gilbert. Feeds it back to Roberts. Roberts a slap shot into the pads of Kelly Rudy, and he holds on to it. Well, a couple of...
The NBA, fast-paced and exciting. There's only one show that keeps you on top of the rookies, record breakers, and standings, the NBA Weekly. And there's only one show that goes beyond the box scores to take a look at sports' most interesting personalities. That's Sports Pro. And there's just one place where you can see NBA Weekly and Sports Pro, Sports Channel. So check local listings for dates and times in your area.
We're sad to see John and Lee Curran leaving the staff here at the Nassau Coliseum. They're working their last event tonight. Have been event supervisors for several years and are leaving us. So John and Lee, we wish you the best as you go on to other and I'm sure exciting things. Best of luck. The puck comes back to McCarthy at the Minnesota line and along the boards for Payne. Steve Payne across to Roberts into the corner. That's Cicerelli feeding him Roberts. And McCarthy's shot was blocked. Comes right back to him. McCarthy to Roberts. Shoots one. Rudy the save. The rebound is picked off by Payne. Circles, comes out in front with a shot that went high off his stick and up into the seats.
Minnesota has the Islanders wheeling around out of position. Good puck control by the Minnesota North Stars power play. There's Roberts' shot. Stopped by Kelly Rudy. Can't control the rebound. It was low. It was a good shot. Dennis Potvin trying to grapple his way by Marook to get to the puck, but Payne has it. As Brent Sutter holds his position, Payne turns and wheels. Potvin got a piece of it, deflecting it up into the seats.
Now the face-off to the left of the Islander net. 18 seconds remaining, and the penalty against Bossy, as you see Steve Payne. It's one of the players that came up under the tutorship of Brian Kilray. He had the Ottawa 67s, junior team in Canada. Kilray, of course, now the Islander assistant coach. Trottier to take the face-off. Acton got the draw back to the blue line. And having all kinds of trouble with it was Rouse. Trottier moves up into the Minnesota zone. Rouse got the stick up. Trottier shoots and scores. There's going to be a penalty against Minnesota that's waved off now, and it's 4-2 and a shorthanded goal for Trottier.
Fine effort by Brian Trottier. 1,000 points. We'll wait for that to go up on the matrix system. Here's Rouse. He misfired on the puck. Trottier tapped it between his legs and then outraced him. There's the penalty. Get the stick in the face of Brian Trottier, but a beautiful move to his backhand with Roland Melanson out, cutting down the angle, thinking that Trottier's going to shoot it. He pulled it to the backhand, and with one quick motion, a shorthanded goal for Brian Trottier has brought the Islanders within 2 of the Minnesota North Stars. Number 22, that's the goal for Brian Trottier. 8 seconds remain in the power play for Minnesota.
Now 2 seconds left in Bossy's penalty. Rouse has the puck. It's over the line with a pass to Flett. He shoots. That just went wide of the net. Aims at 6 aside. Bossy here on right wing. Pokes it in around Steps. Steps around him. Gets billed, and there'll be a penalty to Harold Steps. Biddick has the puck, but the whistle is sounded. Steps will go off, and the Islanders trailing by 2. Now the message up on the board that Brian Trottier has just recorded his 1,000th career point.
That brings the folks as Mike Bossy goes to the ice. A large crowd here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in reaction to that on the matrix board. A standing ovation for Brian Trottier. 1,000 points. His 22nd goal of the season.
Way to get it on a short-handed situation, and made a great play getting the puck away from Richter a couple of times, and then beating Roland Melanson. There's a shot from the right, blocked by Melanson. He covers up on it. Trottier and Bossy both there trying to get it loose.
Things like that stir hockey teams. Jiggs, that has to do something for the Islanders. They were trailing 4-1, looking like they were going to get scored on again. You look at a close-up of one-time Islander standout goaltender Roland Melanson, traded from Minnesota.
Steps in the box, went off for tripping at 15:35. Ball start on the face-off. The Islanders hadn't lined up. Bossy, Tonelli, and Trottier with Potvin and Boudelier. Bukestad taking the face-off for Minnesota was won by Trottier to Tonelli, now to Potvin. Back to Bossy, who covered at the right point. Fires a slap shot off a stick. And Richter dumps it down the ice. Richter, one of 4 university graduates in the Minnesota lineup tonight. He, Bukestad, Giles, and Broughton. Potvin carrying it out of his own zone for the Islanders. Up the left side to Bossy. Comes in on his off wing, puts on the brakes. A centering attempt went off Tonelli. Bossy in the corner, lost his balance, and the puck, and it shot down the boards. Then Richter was sent flying by Trottier. Kelly Rudy has given it to Potvin. Up the boards for Bossy, who waited for it. Lets it go, and it was wide on the glove side. Boudelier at the left point. Shoots it around the boards. It's picked up in the corner by Bossy. Bossy trying to come out of the corner. Shoveled it off to Potvin at the line. Into Bossy. Bossy centers one. It's cut off and cleared by Roberts. Boudelier picks it up out at center with a minute to go in the power play. Pass to Mike Bossy. Bossy handed it right back to Brent Sutter, to Gilbert. To the blue line, to Boudelier, to Brent Sutter. He's knocked down by Roberts. Puck still on the boards in the Minnesota zone. Sutter down again. Roberts as well, and it's underneath Roberts. Long enough for a face-off. 42 seconds remaining in Steps' tripping penalty. The Islanders were down 4-0 and come back with a power play and a shorthanded goal by Brian Trottier.
A lot more interest in the hockey game for the players, not just on the ice, but on the bench for the Islanders. Within 2 now, and 42 seconds remaining on Harold Steps' tripping penalty. Islanders would love to score here. They'd be right back knocking on the door. Just one behind.
North Stars slammed the puck out into center ice following the draw. It's picked up by Potvin. And forecheck by Broughton. Managed to get it to Gilbert, to Brent Sutter. Trying to come in off right wing. Turns. Sutter makes the play to Boudelier. He shoots off the handle of Melanson's stick and up into the seats.
Good move by Roland Melanson with the hands, both hands going in the direction of the puck as Paul Boudelier let fly with a hard shot with some stirring around in front of the net. Take a look now as Paul Boudelier takes a pass from Brent Sutter. Moves in, has time, lets it fly. There's the hands as they go. Catching the handle of the stick just above his blocking glove. Roland Melanson deflecting the puck into the seats.
Brent Sutter, Pat Flatley, Greg Gilbert, Boudelier, and Potvin for the Islanders. Broughton will take the face-off for Minnesota. Neil Broughton out of the University of Minnesota, the 1980 Olympic gold medalist. Boudelier to Potvin, over to Patrick Flatley. His shot hit the goal post. Rouse in the corner, checked by Flatley. Brent Sutter trying to set it up. Sutter takes a look, comes out of the corner to Flatley, who deflected it right on, and a good stop by Melanson. Flatley once more turns in the face-off circle. Hits it back to Paul Boudelier. Time against nets has expired. Boudelier with a drive. That was tipped high and wide. Gilbert trying to center it, couldn't, and McCarthy backhands it the length of the ice. We get an icing call against the Minnesota North Stars. Play stoppage, now 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the second period.
Along with the team, the fans here in the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum come alive. Looking back at Willie Plett's goal, Jigs, the second one of the second period, it was his 10th of the season. His 200th NHL goal. It was on his 50th as a North Star and his 630th game in the National Hockey League. He scored 178 as a North Star. All those little things about your friend Willie Plett.
And there's a whole lot more to tell, but since this is still prime time and family viewing and all that.
Are you suggesting something about his
No,
off-the-ice activities?
I shouldn't be. No, he's a good guy. Loves the game of golf. One of your pals, if you could ever hook up. I think he carries a very short pencil when it comes to keeping score. Gillies kept the puck in at the Minnesota line to Dwayne Sutter, and he just shot it wide. He had Melanson moving, but couldn't get it by him. Now Richter around the boards, lots of it at the left point. Lets it go, and it was blocked in front. Leiter fires one that's tipped wide of the net. Ends up in the left wing. Failed to clear it out, however. Leiter into Clark Gillies. Centers one. Dwayne Sutter's shot went wide. Richter back of the net. Fires it around the boards. Langevin pinches in. Dwayne Sutter picks up the puck. Gives it to Clark Gillies. Centers one in front. Howson couldn't knock it away from Roberts. Now centers, but it goes right to Steve Payne. Payne comes over center ice. Gets the pass back from Sherman, and shot it off Kelly Rudy. Dwayne Sutter over the center ice strike. Works on Giles at the Minnesota line, then was knocked down. The puck ends up back of the net. Roberts and Howson tie up one another. Gillies jabbed it to center. Dwayne Sutter's shot was underneath Giles and just wide. Ord Sherman has cleared it out into the center ice zone. Boudelier for the Islanders, holding on to it, waiting for his teammates to complete player changes. Gave it to Brian Trottier, down to Tonelli. Tonelli turns inside his own line, picks up speed as he comes over center ice. Fires from the blue line. It goes off Giles and way up into the seats. That's about halfway up the second level here.
It's out of the stadium. Aerodynamically sailing way up into the upper deck. A long foul ball. Some more words being exchanged. Some pretty heavy hitting going on in some of the game. Dwayne Sutter has laid a couple of hard hits on Minnesota players.
Look at Gord Dineen as he comes out on the Islander defense, teamed up with Paul Boudelier. Ryan Trottier, Mike Bossy, and John Tonelli, the Islander forwards. Reed, Gord's brother, Kevin Dineen, got himself suspended. The Hartford Whalers. Trottier following the draw, gets turned around. Dineen lets one go that just missed on the stick side. Boudelier fires it toward the net. It's blocked in front. They jab at it, and it comes loose for Willie Plett. Out of McKegney. McKegney shooting it into the Islanders zone. Boudelier hustles after it, pulled it away from the check of Plett. Boudelier up the right side to Bossy. Mike Bossy checked in his own end. Plett fades it back to Giles. 25 seconds left in the period. Giles fed it to Marook on left wing. Right it through in front of the net. It's smothered by Rudy as Plett came cruising in a little late looking for it. 21 seconds remaining in this second period.
Watching that play, Jig, you have to remember back to the backhand pass that Dennis Potvin fed to Brian Trottier. See Marook there. He let that soft pass go and to give Kelly Rudy time to move out quickly, intercept it. He caught it, hung on, stopping the play. Pass passes like that around the net have to be crisp. They have to be hard, or the goaltenders intercept them.
Since they acquired Roland Melanson, this Minnesota team has a record of 11 wins, 14 losses, and 4 ties. Melanson playing in his 12th game, 12th of 30 since he was acquired by the North Stars. I think it's, what, 4 in a row that he has started now. Gilles Melanson did not make the trip with Minnesota. Don Beaupre is their backup goaltender. Gerald Diddick has the puck. Diddick, a long pass up left wing. Trottier got a stick on it, and there's Giles for the North Stars. Put it right into the skates of Gilbert, who shot it into the corner as the horn sounds, ending the second period. The Islanders, after trailing 4-0, battle back and a couple of goals by Brian Trottier. They still have 20 minutes remaining in their score after 2 periods.
On the fast track.
Marouk to face off against Trottier. Marouk wins the draw, getting it back to Snets. Snets and Giles on defense. Marouk centering for McKegney and Plett. And it's dumped off the boards down into the Islander zone. Icing waved off as Kelly Rudy came out to play it. Up the left side, it goes to Tonelli. Checked by Marouk. Potvin gets a stick on it. Plays the puck to Tonelli. Now to Bossy. Waits just inside the line. Fed it over to Potvin. In deep end. Melanson came out to block it. Tonelli centers one in front. Melanson back into position now as Potvin takes it from Harold Snets, but couldn't do anything with it, and McKegney has fed it to Plett. Close call as the Islanders had Melanson way out of the net, but couldn't find the open twine. Here's Trottier carrying it into center ice. Gets around one check, dumps it into the Minnesota zone. Melanson cuts it off. Roberts picks it up. Melanson collided with Bossy, and the puck comes up right wing. Shervin to Acton, then across to Payne. Slap shot, glove save, loose, and right back to Rudy, who kicks that aside. Ryan Trottier for the Islanders. Fed it off Shervin into the Minnesota zone where Valachek knocked it down. It's picked up now, and play is called on a hand pass.
Setting the tempo, Jigs. Both teams, they open things up, start to skate. Action at both ends of the ice. Payne a moment ago ripping a hard shot. Kelly Rudy making a good save off him. Game picks up some pace, some skating, some hitting. There's Payne as he lets fly. There's the stop by Kelly Rudy. Puck laid loose. Acton got a swat at it, but not a good piece of it. Kelly Rudy also knocked that away.
Now as play gets underway, Roberts got it to Payne, dumped it into center ice. There's Boudelier shooting it back in off the stick of Denis. Roberts slaps it around to the left side. Steve Payne is rubbed out on the boards by Brent Sutter, then recovered the puck and gave it to Acton. Gilbert took it away from him. Played it back in over the line. Steve Payne to Roberts and into Brent Sutter. The puck came right back to the Minnesota defenseman. Valachek out of Montreal coming up the wing. Boudelier knocked it away from him. It's going the length of the ice. Icing call as Roberts touches up. Since New Year's Eve, the last time these two teams met one another, the North Stars have picked up 9 points. The Islanders have picked up 13. 6-6-1, the Islander record to this point in January, and this is their last game of the month. Minnesota 3-6-3.
17 points behind their pace of last year. That's where Minnesota stand at this point in the season. Got off to a poor start. Things went downhill from there, I guess they would say, talking to Murray Oliver and J.P. Parisi before the game, trying to keep a little bit of a smile and some kind of light attitude towards a disappointing season for their team.
This is the 50th game of the year for the Islanders. Ooh, that shot from Trottier seemed to catch Melanson in a bit of a nap.
Didn't see it, Jakes. It was in behind one of the players. By the time he saw it, it was on him.
Now Dwayne Sutter sets up Howson across to Gillies, and the pass was behind him. Mark Gillies gave it to Langevin. In around the boards. Howson back to the net. Dwayne Sutter out in front. Shoots. He scores!
Big goal for the Islanders. Are now within one and pressing the Minnesota North Stars. Scott Howson behind the net. Harold Snets, who's been victimized in this building before when he was with Vancouver in the playoffs. The puck shot around by Dave Langevin. Howson. Now watch Snets. Snets should be turned the other way instead of playing the puck. He should have been playing Dwayne Sutter. He didn't, and the mistake was costly. Dwayne Sutter getting his 10th goal of the season. Scott Howson. Giles on top of him. Howson gets it to Dwayne Sutter, and he gets his 10th.
Langevin has dumped the puck into the Minnesota end. Roberts waiting back of the net. Wayne Sutter in forechecking. Roberts lays it off to Valachek to Plett on right wing. To McKegney, and his shot went off later. Goes right through in front. Picked up again. This is Willie Plett. Lets the shot go, and that missed the net. Langevin gets an assist along with Housen, and the Islanders have cleared it to the Minnesota blue line. Wayne Sutter had to leave his skates. McKegney picks up the puck. Tony McKegney instrumental in getting Minnesota off to a 4-0 lead. Twisting and turning now to Marouk. Marouk comes over the center ice stripe. Shot it in off Gerald Diddick. Cleared it outside the line. Plett knocked it away from Bossy to Steps, who's back out on that Minnesota defense. Harold Steps dumps it down the ice. Diddick will put a stick on it. There'll be an icing call against the North Stars. A break in the action with 16:48 left in this, the third period, and the score, Minnesota 4, the Islanders 3.
NHL assist. He has 5 points now.
Pache will take the face-off. Bossy and Tonelli on the wings. Potvin and Diddick on the defense for the Islanders. Puck went into some skates following the draw. Bossy jabs it back to Potvin. Is shot up high, and Melanson has turned aside. Tonelli trying to come out of the near corner. Gives it to Bossy. Centers. Trottier with a shot. Just wide on the stick side. Payne jabbing at it. It hit Diddick. Ends up in the corner. Diddick puts it out in front. Blocked by Steps. Now cleared around to Payne on left wing. He just shoots it down the boards. They ruled the Islanders could have played it. Potvin will pick it up. Up the left wing for Brian Trottier. To John Tonelli. Tonelli cuts to the right at center ice. Fed it to Bossy, who steps over the line. Mike Bossy holding the puck. Back it goes to Deneen. The shot right on. Good save in heavy traffic by Roland Melanson. One-time Islander goaltender. Roberts is over the line with a pass to Payne. Payne is checked. Moving in close is Acton, but he couldn't get a shot away. Steve Payne comes off the left wing. Fed it to Acton, who turns. Keith Acton dumps it into the corner. Payne picks it up. Payne handed it right to Trottier, and the Islanders move out to center ice. John Tonelli carrying the puck. Minnesota in the middle of the change, so Tonelli elects to shoot it in. It goes off Broughton and will be picked up by Roberts. We played 4.5 minutes of this third period. Roberts got knocked down back of the net. There's Gilbert turning. A drive blocked in front of the net. Picked off by Roberts. He's chased to the corner by Brent Sutter. The North Stars just shoot it out of their own end. They seem to be in a little trouble here in the third period, just dumping it out every chance they get. Now Deneen to the right side to Flatley. Relayed it to Brent Sutter. Gilbert moves up to join him. Sutter coming in on left wing was checked. Melanson failed to cover the puck, but Broughton was back. Couldn't clear it out. Boutilier's shot gets through. Brent Sutter cruises through the goal mouth. Flatley shoots, and that ends up at the catching mitt of Roland Melanson.
Tremendous pressure by the Islanders. Sutter from the side of the net. Gilbert right behind him, and then Flatley takes a shot at it. Puts it right into the catching mitt of Roland Melanson. Paul Boutilier's shot through a screen, deflected in front off Gilbert. There's Brent Sutter. Here's the shot by Patrick Flatley right into the catching mitt of Roland Melanson. Here's Sutter out from the side of the net. He hammers at it. Melanson got it, but he couldn't hold on to it with the traffic. And then the shot by Patrick Flatley went right into the catching mitt of Melanson.
Minnesota 4, the New York Islanders 3. Wayne Sutter, Scott Housen, and Clark Gillies, the Islander forwards. Langevin and Leiter on defense. The puck is cleared into the Islander zone, picked up by Dave Langevin to Clark Gillies, who couldn't get a stick on it. McCarthy brought it in offside, so play is called. There's a break in the action, a little less than 15 minutes remaining in the third period. North Stars 4.
Fine coming over the bench for Minnesota. They got to slow down the pace. Got to take charge of the puck. Do something with it in the Islanders' end.
Kegney playing it around the boards, intended for Plett. Gillies took him off the play, and Langevin has cleared it. Got away from Valachek, who goes back now. No icing. Valachek to Roberts. Roberts to McKegney. Went on and off his stick. He picks it up again. Fires one from outside the line. Big rebound off Rudy's pads, and Langevin gives it to Dwayne Sutter on right wing. Out to center ice to Clark Gillies. Gillies unleashes one. Melanson the save. Gillies went after the rebound. Picked up by Housen instead. Housen is checked, and down the right wing comes Marouk. Left trailing. Marook, a slap shot, missed the net. Bounces out in front and is cleared back by Rudy. Eddie Potvin lost his balance in the corner. The puck is underneath him. There's no further play.
Let's go to the Sports Channel out-of-town scoreboard, Jiggs. The game in Detroit, Washington and Detroit. It's in the third period. McEwen has 2 goals in that game. Duchesne has the other. Foster 2. Larson 1. They tied at 3 apiece. Second period score, Winnipeg 4. St. Louis 2 in the second period. And in the first period, no score between Edmonton and Calgary. Fewer for Edmonton in goal. Edwards for Calgary.
Here, the Minnesota North Stars got off to a 4-0 lead by the 7:34 mark of the second period. The Islanders have battled back with 3 in a row. Bossy has just flipped the puck high off the glass at the penalty box, off the shoulder of one of the off-ice officials as well.
He wants the puck.
Came right back out on the ice. No souvenir there. He's got a whole pail full down.
Oh, yeah, but they're not used. You got to have one that maybe one of your favorite Islanders is touched.
To get one of those Sunday afternoon, I would think there'll be some pucks on auction. The Long Island chapter of the Easter Seal Society at the Roosevelt Field Shopping Mall. It's coming Sunday. Trache on the face-off. The puck came loose. Potvin couldn't get it to Tonelli. Payne works it back to the net. Diddick chases it to the right wing boards. Lifted ahead for Bossy. Picks it up at center ice. Pulled it away from one check. Comes over the line with a pass to Tonelli. Trache was broken up. Potvin got a poke at it. Gerald Diddick knocked it down. Kicked it into Bossy. Bossy back to Potvin. Moves in with a shot that was partially blocked. And picked up now by Giles. Dumps it off the boards to center. Diddick was there. And it's to Bossy. Tonelli comes in to join him. Bossy can't get around Giles. Now the puck comes loose. Potvin at the left point. Moves in along the boards. Gets tripped up the pass to Bossy. Turns, shoots, he scores! The Bears come right back to Tonelli. In any event, it's 4-4.
So close to the crossbar, Jiggs. There's a lot of tight mesh up in there, but it appeared originally to be off the crossbar. What a play here. Dennis Potvin keeps it in. Giles goes down. Potvin gets tripped up, but he gets it to Bossy. Bossy sidesteps a check and lets it fly off the crossbar. As it comes back out, John Tonelli hammers it in behind Roland Melanson. In this hockey game that the Islanders trailed by 4 in is now tied at 4 apiece. John Tonelli taking the rebound off the crossbar. His 27th goal of the season has tied it at 4 apiece. There's Acton. He was trying to check Dennis Potvin from behind. Potvin kept the puck in motion as he moved to the head. Acton may have fallen on Potvin's skate, Jake. He was behind him, trying to check him. Let's take a look. Maybe we can find out what happened. Mike Bossy, this is well after the play. Bossy rings it off the crossbar. Tonelli takes the rebound, puts it in the open net before Roland Melanson could recover from the original play. What a play by Mike Bossy as he let the shot go, falling down, put it off the crossbar. And the Islanders, big guns, if you will, are starting to fire, and they're not shooting blanks. Trache has 2. Dwayne Sutter and John Tonelli have brought the Islanders to a tie game.
Hate to harp back to Sunday, but the Islanders got even in Washington, but then couldn't hold on. See what happens on home ice as they battle back to tie the North Stars. Shervin at center ice. Tried to go to right wing. There was nobody there. Paul Boudelier dumps it into the Minnesota zone. It's picked up. Cleared ahead, but nothing doing. Going back for it is Valasek. Let it go to Roberts. Gordy Roberts into the center ice zone. Tied the left side. Payne was checked and is dumped down into the Minnesota territory. Valasek and Gilbert arrive simultaneously. Flatley goes in after the puck. Patrick Flatley looks for somebody in front. Back to the point. Gord Dineen with a shot. Blocked in front. Flatley picks it up. His backhander dribbles just wide. And Sutter was knocked down in the goal crease. North Stars wheel out of their own end. Well, they cannot. Shervin is checked by Gilbert. Picking it up is Valasek. Bounce one wide of Kelly Rudy. Paul Boudelier with it now. Boudelier gave it to Dineen. Cross ice pass. Arrived on the stick of Gillies. Fires it from the blue line. Off the stick and wide. Brent Sutter over on right wing. Gets tangled up in the boards. It comes back to Leiter. Shot it in high over the head of Sneps. Harold Sneps takes a look. Gave it to Broughton. Broughton carries it over the center ice stripe. Into the Islanders zone. Is upended there. And the puck goes loose. Ryder to Dwayne Sutter. Up the left wing boards. Gillies chases it, but Giles is back. Kurt Giles to Broughton. Right back to Giles. Giles trying to come out of his own end of the ice. Gave it to Dino Cicerelli. Pokes it in over the line for McCarthy. He's checked on the boards by Leiter. Loose puck goes back to the Islander goal. Recovered by Scott Howson. Howson starts out on the right wing. Carries it into center ice. Howson trying to send Dwayne Sutter into the Minnesota zone, but he ran into Roberts. Melanson fires it around the boards. There's Tonelli. Kicks it to the corner. Worked back of the net by the North Stars. Picked up by Randy Valaschek. He gave it to McKegney, who carries over center ice. Brett takes it from him. Shot it off his stick and wide of Kelly Rudy. Marouk trying to center. Potvin clears it around to right wing for Bossy. Mike Bossy ahead to Brian Trottier. Dumps it in around Roberts. Valaschek chases it. Little less than 11 minutes to go here in the second period. McKegney breaks out. Tony McKegney over to Dennis Marouk. Marouk chased back by Diddick. Marouk centers. Just out of the reach of McKegney, and up come the Islanders 3-on-2. Tonelli carrying the puck. The pass to Bossy. Over to Trottier. Goes to the backhand. Shoots. Good stop by goaltender Roland Melanson. And he holds on to that backhander. A break in the action. The Islanders putting on pressure. The score tied 4-4.
They're firing again. John Tonelli leads the rush through center ice. There's the pass to Bossy. Look at that beautiful return pass to Brian Trottier. Cuts inside, sets up a screen, and lets go a backhand shot right into the midsection of Roland Melanson.
The Islanders get the draw now. Dineen with the puck, but the whistle had sounded. Flatley and Payne had moved in before the puck was dropped.
Islanders, Jigs.
Down.
It took them 17 minutes and 32 seconds to score 4 goals. The North Stars got the first 4 in 17 minutes and 24 seconds.
That's off-the-wall stuff.
That's pretty close when you think about it.
Brett Sutter to face off. Gets the draw back to Dineen. Or Dineen through a screen that just missed. Bounces up the right side. It is controlled by Shervin. He's checked by Patrick Flatley. Now Gilbert steps into the Minnesota zone. Is knocked down by Valaschek. Roberts from back of the Minnesota goal. Came out in front of the net. Headed ahead at center ice. Into the Islanders zone comes Bukestad. Drop pass. Shervin over to Payne, who shot it off Kelly Rudy. Dineen works it ahead on the right side for Brent Sutter. He and Flatley come up 2-on-2. Bukestad gets back as Brent Sutter crossed the line. Dropped the puck to Boudelier. He shoots. Melanson, makes the save. And there's Dineen with a shot. Underneath Melanson. He looked behind him. Oh my.
Not a big vote of confidence. Look at Gord Dineen. Would he have loved to get that goal? Make himself feel a little better and give his team a go-ahead goal for the first time in the hockey game. Let's take a look at some of the action. Payne against the boards. There's the shot by Gord Dineen. Watch Rolly Melanson. Looks behind him. No, it's not back there, Rolly. Still got it in your pads. Hang on tight. Whistle blows, stopping the play. How about that for a final? 4-3. Wow, Detroit comes back. Washington had tied it up. We'll give you all the scoring in the Islander wrap-up show after this hockey game.
Melanson just made another save in that Minnesota goal mouth. The Islanders out shooting the North Stars 36-27 now. We're tied 4-4. Broughton's pass to Cicerelli, broken up by Gillies, and Langevin dumps it to center ice. Giles moves into the Islander zone, takes a hit from Langevin and Dwayne Sutter. Giles retaliates on Sutter. Play goes on. Harold Snepps put it on Leiter's stick. He couldn't hold it. McCarthy comes in, shoots. Kelly Rudy just got a piece of that, and Giles feeds it out to center. Howson across to Dwayne Sutter. Sutter trying to poke it around Snepps. They fence a little bit. Broughton with the puck. Across to Dino Cicerelli here on right wing. Minnesota in the middle of the player change as the Islanders go back to pick up the puck. Tonelli has come out with Trottier and Bossy. Tonelli took the pass, worked it to the right wing, off the boards. Roberts hustles back. Melanson came out, couldn't make contact with it. Here's Bossy centering it in front. Picked up by Potvin. Potvin backhands it around the boards. Trottier lets it go to Bossy. Centers, and it's steered aside on the short side of the net. In the meantime, Willie Flett has Tonelli down on the ice and holding him there, and the play has been called. Collins and McCourt in to separate things. 8 minutes, 28 seconds left here in the third period. So we'll take a break. The score is tied. New York Islanders 4, Minnesota North.
On the buzz again, Trottier, Tonelli, Bossy. Watch in front of the net. Willie Plett knocks John Tonelli down. Tonelli grabs a hold of him with a stick, pulls him down on top. Then, of course, John Tonelli, knowing that he's not exactly in the best position, he was telling Willie, I'm sure at that point, I've got you just where I want you.
Cross-checking on Plett, slashing on Tonelli. They're called 11:32 of this third period. 4-4 tie. Bossy to Trottier. Play is called. They'll face off back in the Islander end. An offside play, putting the Islanders into the Minnesota zone. So Detroit surprises Washington tonight, huh?
Big win for the Detroit Red Wings, who have been having all kinds of problems here since New Year's, the turn of the new year.
And it moves the Detroit Red Wings only 2 points behind the Minnesota North Stars. Barring the outcome of this game, of course. Trottier and Marouk to face off. Potvin got it to Diddick, out to Bossy on right wing, back to Denny Potvin. Now to Brian Trottier. Trottier is over the Minnesota line. Diddick broke through the defense, the pass didn't arrive, and here's a break from Marouk. Potvin trying to get back. Marouk in deep, and in too deep, centers, and Trottier is there. Islanders get new life. Diddick to Bossy. He's over the line on his off wing. Bossy checked on the boards. The puck comes outside the line and picked up by number 22, Michael Bossy. Being chased back by McKegney. Now Boudelier gives it to Diddick. Back to Boudelier. Again to Diddick. And again to Boudelier. Boudelier carries it over the center ice stripe. Into the Minnesota zone and shot it around the glass. Melanson cuts it off. Haller in quickly, but Steps was there. North Stars come out of their own zone, led by Shervin. Fired from the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for Mark Napier. Minnesota also got Terry Martin on the play, and the Islanders unable to come out cleanly. Shervin broke up the play, comes off the boards, giving it to Payne. To the point, this is Giles. Lets it go, and it's off the stick and into the seats. 40 seconds remaining, and the penalties to Plett and Tonelli.
See the pace of the game picking up, starts to tell a little on some of the players, some of them taking double shifts. Anders Kaller out for the first time, period, trying to take some of the heat off the double shifting of some of the Islanders. Here's Dennis Marouk a moment ago, broke away. Kelly Rudy so far out of the net. Look where he was. Marouk passed it. The Islanders said thank you very much. As Dennis Potvin come back in, there was not a Minnesota North Star inside the Islanders' blue line.
Now as play gets underway, Dineen has the puck. He and Boudelier on defense. Pat Flatley and Brent Sutter, the Islander forwards. Boudelier carries it to center, gave it to Flatley on right wing. Had Steps turning around. Flatley went to the corner with it. Back to Dineen, over to Paul Boudelier. Lets the shot go through a screen, and it hit Brent Sutter. Payne plays it to Steps. Steps, bothered by Flatley, got it up to Shervin. Shervin and Payne come over the Islander line. Shervin, a drop pass. There's Payne turning. No help arrived. He goes in a little deeper. Holds on to it. Payne trying to make the play. Dumps it around the boards. It'll be picked up by Brent Sutter. The right side for Flatley. Tonelli and Plett are back on. A long pass out of the reach of John Tonelli. Goes wide of the Minnesota net. Plett puts his stick on it. The Islanders have iced the puck with 6 minutes and 18 seconds left. A break in the action. The score tied.
How about those Springfield Indians? I thought they were playing here tonight, but apparently they're in Baltimore and they've won. Don't send any of these guys back. That's what Lorne Henning says. I'm doing better without them. They win 6-4 over Baltimore.
Those Indians have been on fire. They're on a long road trip. They get home this weekend. There's a chance for Plett, who was parked in front. They set him up, but he couldn't deflect it by Kelly Rudy. Tonelli works it into the Minnesota end of the ice. Melanson slapped it around the board. Bossy in the right wing corner had it stolen. Picked off by Tony McKegney. McKegney carries it across the Islander line. Ran into the hip check of Langevin. And Leiter moves it out to Bossy on right wing. It skipped off his stick. Robert slaps it into the center ice zone where Trottier knocked it down. Made it back into his own end of the ice and right to Kelly Rudy. This is Langevin. Ahead to Tonelli. Tonelli, Trottier, and Bossy start out. They dropped it back to Leiter. Moves it up into the center ice zone and then shot it around the boards. Kurt Giles goes after it. Giles Bothered by Bossy, who knocked it loose to Tonelli. Tonelli comes to the corner, giving it to Bossy. Back to the blue line to Potvin. Over to Leiter. Leiter knocked it down. Lets it go, and it's blocked. Lead pass. Here's McCarthy on a breakaway. Moves in, and he couldn't get the shot. He lost control of the puck on the short side. Brent Sutter for the Islanders. Clears it ahead, but out of the reach of Tonelli. 5 minutes remaining. No icing as the North Stars go back. They've had their chances. Baruch, and then a moment ago, McCarthy. Here are the Islanders into the Minnesota zone. Brent Sutter holding the puck. The pass across to Gilbert was broken up. Cleared by Cicerelli. To Velishek. To Steps. Gerald Steps comes out on the left side. Put it on the stick of Gerald Diddick, however, to Flatley. Couldn't get it over center ice. Payne has a little trouble getting the play organized. And now Bukestad handed it to Diddick to Potvin. Right side to Patrick Flatley. Shoots it around the boards. Gilbert comes in on the left wing. Right, Gilbert is bumped. Brent Sutter can't pick up the puck. Bukestad breaks out with Payne. Payne takes the pass. Flat shot on target. Blocked by Kelly Rudy, and he's cleared it to the corner. Over goes Bukestad. Centered it right through to Flatley, however, to Brent Sutter. Sutter trying to outskate Velishek as he moves up the right wing. Is grabbed and turned around. Minnesota has the puck. No whistle. Roberts fires it into the Islander territory. We have 4 minutes left in regulation time. Boudelier back. All Boudelier, right side to Dwayne Sutter. Now to Scott Howson. Howson gets over the line. Drop pass to Gillies. Punches center one that was tipped. Cleared out of there by Sherman. Dineen picks it up at center ice. Dineen to Dwayne Sutter off the stick, and there's Steps. Well, Steps tries the right wing. Nothing doing there for the North Stars, and Boudelier tried to shoot it back in and hit Gillies. Gillies and Steps battling for it, and now the whistle sounds. Delayed offside. Apparently, 3 minutes and 33 seconds left. We'll step out. The score tied 4-4.
Minnesota had a great opportunity. Here's the pass. Tom McCarthy all alone. As he goes in, tried to pull Roland Melanson. The puck tipped up on him. Roland Melanson, come on, Ed. Kelly Rudy, still not used to that. Kelly Rudy forcing him to go wide. Good play by the goaltender. The Islanders get caught, and the goaltender bails them out.
I've been doing it. I think I got you sucked into doing it too.
Yeah, between Michelob and... oh, my goodness.
Well, 3 minutes, 33 seconds left in regulation time.
You know, we're both going to have a lot of trouble the next time Detroit and the Islanders get together. Ricardo Michelob is in the nets.
Can't let it happen. We're going to have Jimmy D.
We'll bribe Jimmy D.
Play gets underway. Giles has the puck. Kurt Giles up the right side. Marouk comes over the line. Kept the play onside, apparently. Cagney goes in after it, and Trottier knocked it away. Plett puts it out in front. A bouncing puck. Hopped over the stick of Tonelli. Held in by Marouk. Plett and Langevin on the boards together. Cagney and Tonelli after it. Bossy picks it up over on right wing. Mike Bossy over center ice. Looks for a man. Handed it to Tonelli. Tonelli tied up from behind by Plett. Tonelli goes down. Play goes on. Potvin has the puck. Back in his own zone. Gave it to Diddick on right wing. Gerald Diddick comes down the boards. Lost it. Steps and Bossy go down together. Diddick whacking at the puck, and it's cleared high into the Islanders' zone. Potvin ran into... Well, actually, Plett ran into Potvin, and now the puck ends up in the Minnesota end of the ice. Roberts to Velishek. Up it goes for Tom McCarthy. Lead pass. Broughton bumped solidly by Greg Gilbert. Puck loose in the center ice area. We haven't seen Acton after he was injured on the Islanders' tying goal here in the third period. Bukestad appears to have taken his spot in the lineup. Broughton for Minnesota, centering one. Cicerelli is checked by Brent Sutter. Sutter comes out of the corner, lost the puck. Broughton whipped it into the corner again. Now Flatley on right wing, gets tied up by Broughton. Brent Sutter has a stick on it. Across to Gilbert, picks it up from the left wing boards. Greg Gilbert moves in, Melanson the save. Gilbert runs out of skating room. There's Brent Sutter back in the net. Sutter trying to center. He was really tangled up with Cicerelli, and Broughton breaks loose. Broughton coming up with McCarthy. Dineen slows up Broughton, and Flatley takes the puck. Gave it to Greg Gilbert. Gilbert to the Minnesota blue line. Gave it to Brent Sutter. Slap shot kicked out by Melanson, and the rebound comes outside the line. Leiter gives it to Boudelier here on the left side. Shoots it into the Minnesota zone with 1.5 minutes to play in the third period. Giles rounds the net. There he Plays it up the middle of the ice. Left side to Payne. Ryder stepped into him, and Langevin cleared it away from Shervin. Whacks it up in the right side. Wayne Sutter. And Payne bumping. Howson there as well. Scott Howson dug it off the boards. Gives it to Clark Gillies. Taken over center ice with Gillies carrying it across the line. Clark Gillies with a shot. Hit Melanson on the shoulder and lay loose, and Howson was ridden off the play by Stentz. Payne clears it around the board. Wayne Sutter for the Islanders. It's loose from the check, and a shot went off the skate in front. Here's Howson playing it back in the net. Gillies and Melanson get tangled up, and the referee has called play. Maybe penalties to both of them. Mark Gillies and former teammate Roland Melanson, and now Acton has just come back from the Minnesota room.
Melanson was playing a little interference on Clark Gillies. Gillies pushed back. There's Scott Howson behind the net. There's Roland Melanson as he takes Gillies out. Gillies comes right back after him. See the referee Dave Newell in the perfect position to see what's going on, and he waves both of them to the penalty box. The goaltender should be going right to the box. That's the next rule I want to see changed. Penalty like that, goaltender goes in the box along with Clark Gillies. What difference does it make if he gets a penalty? He stays in the net. Put the other guy in. That's what he's there for.
Take too much time. Delay the game.
Why? He could have been in there by now. Melanson, he's a good skater. He could be in the penalty box just as quick as Clark Gillies.
Never happened. It might. I shouldn't say that, I guess.
You noticed I didn't say trust me, folks.
Bukestad is coming over to serve Melanson's holding penalty. Gillies gets the gate for roughing. Penalties with 52 seconds left in the third period.
You see, the other thing it do away with is the indignity of Bukestad having to go in the penalty box and sit there for 2 minutes.
The indignity.
Well, that's the sin bin.
Yes.
You created a sin, you go to the box for 2 minutes. I can remember teams I played on. Over the years, it was a welcome relief. I wasn't on the ice when they scored, Coach.
Please, may I go? Al Arbor has sent out Brian Trottier, Mike Bossy, Gerald Diddick, and Denny Potvin. Marouk on the face-off for Minnesota. They're in the circle to the left is Melanson. Trottier went after the draw, got it back to Diddick, turns, couldn't put it on Bossy's stick. Belichick overled McKegney, and Potvin picks it up at the blue line. Diddick now to Bossy. Bossy to Trottier, knocked it out of the air. Bossy can't get a stick on it. Potvin does and shoots it in around the glass. Melanson cuts it off for Roberts. This Belichick, Potvin lets it go, and that skipped off his stick. Belichick has it back of the net. Randy Belichick carried a 4.0 grade average at Providence College over 4 years, and the Islanders go offside at the Minnesota blue line.
You know that his scholarship wasn't a gift. A guy carries a 4.0 for 4 years, was it?
Double major, yeah. He carried a double major, too, in languages and business.
How about
fluent
that?
in English, naturally, in French as well, and in German. He's something.
Kudos to him. Bright guy.
Graduated.
Something for other young fellas to aim at.
Graduated magna cum laude in 1983. 4.0 grade average.
Wow. Originally from Montreal, Quebec.
He'll be 23 next month. Boudelier handling the puck in his own zone. Got it to Gord Dineen. Dumped it to the Minnesota line, right onto Robert's stick to McKegney, over the line to Marouk. There's the shot, and it missed the net. 5 seconds left in the third period. Brent Sutter looks up at the clock, comes to center, a long shot, blocked by Melanson, and that's going to do it. Games will go to the overtime at 5 aside with those penalties to Melanson and Gillies carrying over. But through 60 minutes, your score is the New York Islanders 4, the Minnesota North Stars 4. And we'll return for the overtime period. The Islanders going to overtime for the 10th time this year, and here's the reason why. First, take a look at the shots on goal in the third period. The Islanders with 16, 40 over 60 minutes. The North Stars had 8 shots, giving them 30 in regulation time. The Islanders were trailing 4-2 when Dwayne Sutter scored his 10th of the year from Howson and Langevin at 2:14. Then at the 6:57 mark, Mike Bossy rang one off the crossbar, rebounded to John Tonelli, who slammed it in, his 27th of the year. Potvin drew an assist as well, and it's remained 4-4 since that point. And as we go to overtime, here's the reason. Watch Bossy's shot. Potvin.
Dennis Potvin keeps it in, Jiggs. Then he falls down. I think it was Potvin's skate. But look at the play here by Bossy. Falling down, he lets it rip off the crossbar to the right of Roland Melanson. Finished off by John Tonelli as he slammed the rebound in. His 27th for number 27. John Tonelli tied the score.
So it is 4-4, and the overtime is underway. Boudelier has dumped it in off Brent Sutter's skates. Roberts back on the Minnesota defense. Around the boards for McKegney. Tony McKegney, checked by Tonelli. McKegney recovers the puck. Comes over center ice into the Islanders' zone. Boudelier knocked it away from him. McKegney recovers. Can't get the shot away. Brent Sutter picks it up here on left wing. Sutter carries it into the center ice zone. Gave it to John Tonelli, who cuts to the right. Good move to get over the line, but couldn't make the play. Now Boudelier brings it in offside with 33 seconds left in the penalties to Melanson and Gillies. Bukestad serving Melanson's call.
Jiggs, 5 of the last 6 games decided in overtime in the National Hockey League have been won by the team scoring the goal that forced the overtime.
Interesting note.
Yep.
Been surprised with the number of wins by visiting teams too. I was looking at that. I don't recall the number right offhand, but it's much better than I thought it might have been.
The Islanders' 6 losses in overtime is the most in the league right now.
1 win, 6 losses. Twice the game has ended in a 3-3 tie. That won't be the case tonight. Payne with the puck. Payne trying to set up his man. Good save by Rudy as Acton let that one go. It was Acton who was shaken up on the tying goal by Tonelli back in the 3rd period. Here's Potvin starting up the ice. Comes over the Minnesota line. Played it to the left wing boards for Trottier. Bossy gets a stick on it, but Potvin couldn't hold it. Gillies, who has just come out of the ice, gets it back to Ken Leiter. Leiter shoots it in around the boards. Melanson can't cut it off. Gillies goes in after it. Got it back to Bossy. Cross to the point for Leiter. His shot was blocked. Picked off by Howson, and his drive hits net. Now it goes into Clark Gillies in the corner. Comes back to the blue line. Howson gets a stick on it. Starts in deeper. Fed it wide of the net. Mike Bossy can't control it. Leiter has it at the right point. Slaps it in around the boards. It gets away from Bossy. It's up the right wing for Kurt Giles. To Ciccarelli. Couldn't slap it out. Langevin turns. Backhands it into Howson. And Howson puts it out in front. It's cut off by Giles. Giles clears it out to Ciccarelli. He is checked by Dave Langevin. Scott Howson goes after the puck, and it goes off his stick into the penalty box. 3 minutes remaining in the sudden death overtime period.
Islanders pressing, Jiggs, right from the beginning, right at the drop of the face-off for the overtime. They took it right to Minnesota, and they've kept it in there for the last 2 minutes. Roland Melanson a moment ago just behind him, cruising Mike Bossy. Bossy kind of run into the skates of Roland Melanson. He didn't go down, but he turned around, said something to Bossy. A couple of words while the play kept flowing.
It's Brent Sutter, Pat Flatley, and Greg Gilbert for the Islanders. Boudelier and Dineen on defense. McCarthy is up front along with Bukestad and Broughton for Minnesota. Roberts clearing it around the boards. McCarthy is checked. Here's Flatley. Can't set up Gilbert. Brent Sutter shot. Oh, just went wide as Gilbert got that one away. Sutter putting him in the open out front. Boudelier dumps it around the boards. Gilbert was spilled. Play goes on. Paul Boudelier slaps it back in wide of the Minnesota net. Roberts went after it. Roberts clears it up the left wing. This is Broughton. Broughton and Bukestad get into the Islanders' zone. Bukestad with the puck. Trailer pass to McCarthy. Can't cut in. Goes back to the net and lost it. Bukestad at the short side. Puts it out in front of just out of the reach of Broughton, who had shortened up on the stick. Greg Gilbert unable to clear it out of his own zone. McCarthy gets checked on the boards. They freeze it, and now play is called with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left. But a close call as Broughton had the game on his, almost on his stick.
Close call, Jiggs. In close like this, of course, very difficult to pick up the puck behind the net. Coming out from the side, here's the pass from Bukestad. Broughton couldn't get a hold of it. He didn't see it until it was too late. Let's look again. Dineen missed the puck. Bukestad comes out from the side with Paul Boudelier. There it comes. Right at the last second, he saw it.
Timeout, Islanders.
But he couldn't put it in. The Islanders need a timeout. They call it. Score tied 4-4. 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the overtime. The reason that Al Arbor called the timeout now, of course, is to give his big line an extra rest. Saturday, Islander action continues when they go to Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins. Watch as veteran Dennis Potvin and the rest of the Islanders go head-to-head against the Penguins and their rookie sensation, Mario Lemieux. Tune in for all the action on Saturday at 8 o'clock, exclusively on Sports Channel.
And a week from tonight, the Islanders are at home to the Philadelphia Flyers. That'll be their next home game. 3 home games coming up next week, Tuesday, Thursday, and again Saturday. Philadelphia, the New York Rangers, and the Pittsburgh Penguins all visiting next week.
Islanders want to win the hockey game. There's no question about it. They're at home. They trailed by 4. They tied it up. John Tonelli scoring. Now they're in overtime.
Tonelli is out on the left wing with Trottier at center and Bossy on the right side. The puck dumped in by the North Stars, and Bossy clears it to center. Got a Roberts, but it went to Dennis Marouk. Marouk checked at center ice as Trottier caught up with him. Tonelli chases it into the Minnesota zone along with Bossy. Bossy can't get around the check of Roberts. Belichick on top of Bossy as they untangle now, and here's Dineen at the right point. Lets the shot go, and it was wide. Grabbed by Melanson outside the goal mouth, and he has held it. The Islanders have not had a shot on goal in this overtime.
Tell you one of the reasons, Jigs, they're playing the body pretty good in the... Or I should say Minnesota is playing the body pretty good. Let's watch Belichick now. Bossy's dangerous. Look at here. What a beautiful play by Belichick as he walks straight into Mike Bossy. Not many players you get to see do that to Mike Bossy. He's too nimble. He's too quick. He's also very strong. Belichick caught him. You'll remember the play that John Tonelli tied the game with. It was that same move that Bossy made going inside like that. Then he brung it off the goalpost. Tonelli put the rebound in. Belichick that time played his body perfectly.
Brent Sutter will face off. Flatley and Gilbert interchange on the wings, and here's Diddick, but again the whistle has sounded. Somebody stepped in before the puck was dropped. Only once in the 9 previous overtimes have the Islanders been held without a shot on goal, and that was by the Montreal Canadiens at the Forum.
When I think of overtime, I think of the overtime game with the St. Louis Blues. That one whistle in the... Well, the first whistle was at the 4-minute change mark.
Yes, last season. It was up and down, wasn't it?
I was sold on overtime then.
Now Potvin at center ice has given the puck to Greg Gilbert across to Flatley. Couldn't get a stick on it. Steps knocks it down. Harold Steps clears it out to center. Patrick Flatley can't get it back inside the Minnesota zone. Now Payne lost it, picked it up in time to work it to Acton, but then right to the stick of Flatley. Brent Sutter. Sutter lost it in his own end of the ice. Steve Payne dumps it in deep. Acton sneaks back to the net. Potvin checked in.
Payne picks it up in the
corner, fired on the short side, and Rudy cut that off. It comes back to Giles. There Giles slaps it around the glass. Potvin chases it back in the net and ran into Acton. Patrick Flatley can't get it out. It's in and out of the skates of Brent Sutter. Dumped in deep. Acton back in the net. Can't make the play as he goes to the corner and is knocked down by Diddick. Patrick Flatley clears it into center. 38 seconds remaining in this overtime as Flett comes over the line offside. Willie Flett has moved in on the right side, catching Acton deep in the Islander end.
He was so far offside, Jigs, that the linesman almost didn't see him until the Islanders. Gerald Diddick was pointing and yelling at him when they looked in the right direction. Acton, who'd gone down in the corner, was well behind the play. Linesman almost missed it.
Minnesota got off to a 4-0 lead. The Islanders came back to tie it by 6:57 of the third period. Went to the third period down 4-2. Now we have 33 seconds left in overtime. Trottier gets the draw back to Dineen. Paul Boudelier steps over the center ice stripe and shoots it in. Around the boards to Bossy on the right side. Couldn't center it. Now he does, and it's picked off. Brought up the ice by Dennis Marouk. Bounces it in front of Kelly Rudy. He seemed to have it measured, then had to change his thought process. The puck comes loose. Tonelli poking at it. Will pick it up at center ice with 8 seconds left. He's over the line, trying to get around Roberts. Is wrestled to the ice. And Marouk shoots it high in the air. Boudelier knocks it down at center, but the play is called. The horn has sounded, and this game ends in a 4-4 tie. So Roland Melanson comes back to face Kelly Rudy. Melanson traded to Minnesota, giving Rudy the backup job here, which becomes permanent now as Bill Smith sits out a 6-game suspension. And your final score is the Islanders 4, the North Stars 4. Back with a recap right after these messages.